Hopefully everyone's in the Spotify. I have not checked. I just changed the
Oh.
sound.
I need to do
We're
that.
missing the Jacobies.
We are.
Coming.
Elves at the mercy of man.
Steven joined the jam.
And my PC or my phone.
Phone or
Joining
PC or
that.
whatever works for you. But to dive back in, it is currently approaching midnight. It's very late in the evening on Turdas, the 28th of Rain's Hand, as the Forsaken Winds attend a ball at Skullhouse Demir and have more recently just slipped into the cellar via a distraction facilitated by Jay Kartosh and his attendants. As you've slipped your way down here, your current focus and goal is to locate and recover, and in theory utilize, when you're able to, Skull Lord Demir's access writ, which will function as a teleportation scroll that takes you directly to some predetermined location in Daenor. This would facilitate much faster travel, certainly, than caravan journeys or marches or even wind sailing in that direction. And certainly less conspicuously, as you wouldn't be seen in your journey. So you've begun to navigate this cellar space. You've charmed a guard, prevented other guards so far from being aware that you guys are down here. You were escorted into a specific torture/ritual room that seemed to have a creature binded to very dark magic due to some abyssal notes that Toby Rama found and pocketed. And most recently, during exploration of Skull Lord Demir's meditation chamber and seizing an opportunity to pull in the Durastian soldier to the pools, you had awakened an elemental creature in that chamber. So as we resume here, this elemental creature, formed from the liquid of this meditation chamber's pool, writhes and rises from the water, with the Durastian soldier now beginning to loose a smothered scream from within its form. You can see bubbles emanate from his mouth. This is a loud call for help that is temporarily and currently being contained. He is struggling to escape its form, visibly, and with the commotion stirring up the waters, you can now see a collection of bones strewn throughout the bottom of the pool. They're sort of congregating in one part of the area. The creature now stretches high to loom over you all, reaching to the top of this space's ceiling with its height, as multiple tentacles separate into sharp claws. I need everyone to please roll initiative.
Click on your characters.
And
Click your
as
Toki.
a reminder, Kellen will be shared by both Toby Rama and Tim, so you guys can choose who wants to pilot him first turn.
You can, MK.
Deal.
Critter, do I get advantage if I roll a nat 20 for initiative?
You'd get advantage on the first D20 test, the first roll of something you do on your turn.
Would like to investigate.
Oh, my
This is a
computer.
small
I'm sorry
room.
for clicking. Put my initiative at 7. D&D Beyond was just being very slow interacting with Roll20.
Gotcha. I also need to roll for...
Also, so weird that Tim's mic is chill this week and not.
Yeah.
He's like, why?
I didn't do anything different.
It's so
Where would
stupid.
I get access to Kellen's character sheet? Is it in Roll20?
It can be. I will send you guys a link currently. Sending it in the Roll20 chat, but actually for posterity, I'll try and send it in the Discord chat as well.
I made it as a PC. I wonder if we could just share it with,
Oh, possibly, yeah.
if you could give access to it somehow to...
So he's currently, the guard is in the elemental,
The guard, as soon as he was pulled telekinetically by your pull, he was submerged into the water, and then this elemental creature began to writhe and rise from the water. So the soldier is currently suspended and potentially in threat of drowning within the creature.
I didn't ask how large the room was. I said I cast fire.
Classic. All right, looks like a 12 for Kellen. It looked like it may have whispered it to me, possibly, if you guys didn't see it, but looks like he's in there. We've got the crew, it would seem.
Whisper? No. Okay. That should be better now.
Okay. So, the creature's looming, hunched and ravenous over you all, a vague jaw shape, sort of hanging open and dripping water like drool as it prepares to, theoretically, attack and feast. Telperion, at the start of initiative, you have the opportunity to make a tactician move.
I will put Jiri, but oh wait, no, I have to move myself first. I'm gonna go after Roulette.
Snapping up toward the top of initiative, Roulette, you are the first to act.
I don't have reach anymore because I got rid of my thing. Shit.
That's bad, baby.
Can I move through a companion space?
Yes, but difficult terrain, so it will cost you a little bit.
I just want to do this really quick because I can't see who's in. Oh, there's other people in the room. Okay. I will stage whisper aloud. Can we just leave this guy in this room and just back out? Maybe just kill the guy and leave this bubbling fiend to himself. And I will am I just gonna take 2 swings? I don't know. Well, I can't even reach it because where is this guy? He's in the top part of it. Sorry.
Yeah, he's in the top right quadrant of the creature, but the creature is certainly taking up more space. It looks like, volume-wise, multiple creatures could exist within this creature's form.
Oh, good warning.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to be in there, though. Fuck, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go in here. I'm gonna scoot up here. That's 10, 25
Okay.
feet. And I'm just gonna take 2 swings specifically at the guy.
At the guard within the creature's form.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. For your first attack, which would be made with advantage per your excellent initiative roll, will be canceled out due to the creature being suspended within water. Underwater combat rules will apply as your blade might be thwarted on its trajectory and momentum cleaving into the form. So straight roll for this first one against the guard.
Did that go? Yeah.
It did. Heavily, cleanly a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Plus 2d4 on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like there's other. No, that's only when I'm in my super form. So 16 slashing.
I believe that is 12 slashing and 4 psychic.
Okay, correct. Yeah, sorry.
Which is important. But you feel your magical blade cleave through its non-magical resistance to slashing, so you're all good there. 16 total damage. You just feel that sensation even though you're not attacking the weird creature, but you're kind of cutting through its form briefly, but not its core vitality. But heavily, cleanly, 16 damage toward the soldier.
Another pokey poke.
Okay.
Pokey poke.
17 will also connect with the Drastian soldier.
Where's Loaf when you need him?
Oh shit! Get out.
16, another 16 slashing plus
So let's do
5 psychic.
Well,
The guard is heavily bloodied. You see the pool of blood just start to emanate and cascade through this creature, seeping into its form. very nearly slain.
And I will end my turn by saying we should get out of here. Bonus action, I'm not going to do anything. Daisy's going to stay on my hip. End of turn.
Okay. Telperion, you are up.
Yeah.
I
Your
didn't catch
audio's
any.
cutting. Yeah, your audio's cutting in and out a bit.
I hope it's not.
That was
There you go.
okay.
I'll swing an attack. I'll booming blade him.
The guard.
Actually, I'll just swing once to the guard.
Okay.
Disadvantage. Oh,
disadvantage. Yep.
can I get on the other side and swing?
Yeah, how are you getting on the other side? The creature, you couldn't jump the pool right this moment with the creature in your way, but show me how you're getting around. It'll be
So I don't suffer difficult terrain because of the Yukata. So if I get over here,
Okay.
could I jump across
absolutely, yeah.
and then kitty corner with Jiri?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, sweet. So I'll just make a regular roll.
Are you using a melee attack? You cannot currently reach the Durastine soldier.
How far is he?
He's 10 feet away from
from
you.
him now.
Oh, okay. I'll meow. Oh, okay. He's 10 feet. Let's
He's
just
in the top right corner of the water blob.
Oh, okay. I'll just bonus. I'll mind sliver him to start.
Okay. Let me find his stat block here. Int save.
Yeah. 3d6.
17?
It's 18.
Very nice with Kiramar out, boosting your DC.
And my sexy staff as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 psychic damage.
We should. Oh yeah, it is a spell. Okay, yeah. How many damage?
9.
With 9 psychic damage, you just see the guard's head. Bubbles stop coming from his mouth, and his head just rolls back, unconscious.
Perfect.
Critter, this is when you play the victory music.
Okay. I'll remember that when there's a victory.
So I just went deeper in the room without really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Is there anything around me over here? Is this just like
There is a large chest behind you.
So I thought maybe it was an altar.
oh
It
can
just
I-
seems to be like a reinforced metal frame thing that certainly opens.
okay. Yeah, interesting. And I'm looking at a water elemental in front of me.
Yes, some sort of creature, but it looks jaunted, angular, lithe. This is not a standard fair water elemental. This is something more aggressive and more angry.
Thing. I'm just gonna slash at it twice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with disadvantage.
What
First
about
strike
Jiri?
first.
Does
Oh
Jiri
yeah,
help me?
yeah, absolutely. So net neutral roll, yeah. But roll one at a time for me.
Yeah.
18.
18 will absolutely hit it, so go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, this is a D12 plus 6.
And it will not resist your force damage of your Psy Saber.
Correct. 8 plus 6 is 14 damage.
14 damage to the elemental. And as you strike it, a spray of water is jettisoned from it, but it's connected at the base, and a grasping tentacle comes around to attack you. It will make a single attack against you.
Elder weird.
Oh, Elder's not a good
Oh,
idea.
it is. Oh, actually, this is not an attack. This is a grapple attempt. So it will try to latch onto you, but cannot maintain any purchase on your
Oh,
cloak,
very nice.
your yukata wearing form.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And as
Well,
soon as it is grabbing around you, it retracts its tentacle into itself rapidly, and it just slides off you harmlessly. But you know, if it took purchase, that would pull someone into its form.
And say, the rest of you be careful with striking it. And I do it again.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Jesus.
28.
Okay. The first one, the first strike, was that rolled with disadvantage?
That was rolled neutral because of Jiri.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and
This
roll
one.
one extra d20 on the first strike. It was disadvantage to hit another target inside of it, but it's still normal to attack its true form.
14
So-
on this, the other one.
Okay. Just wanted to check for nat 20 opportunity. But for the second one, sounds like absolutely a hit, but you can go ahead and roll another d20 if there's an opportunity for a crit there.
He has an advantage. Oh, gotcha.
No crit. Okay. So this is just a d12 plus 6 for 10 damage.
10 force damage. Again, a spray of water, and it's not able to maintain the form at its base like a limb of a tentacle, so it just sprays across the wall.
And I'm gonna side strike it if that's all right. And just add a d10
Yeah, go for it.
if I could find a d10 plus so 7 more damage on that. And it could try to go prone.
Out of curiosity, we'll see what it shows you here. You
It fails
know
its
the
trick save.
impact. Yeah, you know the impact was satisfactory, but it just like splashes in its form, just reforms. It is immune to prone.
And that is my bonus action. With a bonus action, I can't kick open this chest, can I?
I would say full use an object action required.
Okay. I will point at this chest and be like, "Do you think the Rick could be in here?" And I'll stand ready to guard. And that's my turn.
Okay. It is Kellen's turn. Who's piloting him this
All right,
turn?
I got him.
I did yell, "Be careful of melee attacks on this thing. It wants to suck you in. Don't get sucked, Kellen."
Don't get sucked. I was going to have him hopefully put 2 and 2 together and maybe not try the fire on his sword. Also bright light. So he's gonna back up into the door frame. Take a fighting spirit and make a heavy crossbow attack with
Okay.
advantage.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, well, perfect. For 11 piercing.
Healthy hit, though you do see the crossbow bolt impact it and then just stop its momentum entirely floating in its form. It is resistant to non-magical piercing.
But he
But you
now
did still
has
damage it.
also 5 temps, and I'll have him kind of
Nice.
catty corner the door here, and then this turn.
Okay.
The most important thing is that the god died.
It is this elder water weird's turn.
When
Oh,
can
and
I long rest?
Oh, damn. I need to. Sorry. Funny that I did that. No longer trained. Now he's dead. Boom. It is the water weird's turn. I think it's just going to attack the 2 people closest to it. Telperion and Jiri. 1 attack coming at each of you. We'll do Telperion first. Straight roll. No advantage for any reason.
I can swim, thanks.
16.
Piermar chops off one of the water tentacles that strikes at me.
Okay. And then
What
Jiri,
about
straight
Laser
roll
Skull
coming at
Eldritch
you.
Stand?
14. Not going to do it. As soon as it misses these attacks, you guys dodging or even shearing off some of its tentacles mid-slash and its water reforming, it just kind of looks over and just coats itself completely, submerges itself underwater.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
No
It is-
chest he had open.
It is Jiri's turn.
Nah, we're gonna kill this thing. Yuri will attempt to lightning lure it and pull it back out of water.
Okay.
Ooh.
As a note, when this thing submerges itself in water, it becomes indiscernible from the rest of the water
Like
in the space.
Vaporeon.
It is technically invisible when submerged. What does lightning lure mean for it? Do you have to be able to see something to target it? Is it an attack roll? Fill me in there.
You create a lash of lightning energy that strikes at one creature of your choice you can see within 15 feet of you.
Okay, so
Can
you
I just
cannot
attack
see
like
it.
where it was? Can I just attack like the water? You know what I mean? Like where it went down.
With weapon attack rolls, you can do that, but when a cantrip or spell requires that you can see it, unfortunately, the magic isn't going to take hold without a visible target.
Dang, alright, I'll just attack the water with my sword then.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You know where it disappeared into, so it's just disadvantage against an invisible creature.
You do one of those lightning strikes that your sword can do, right?
Yeah, my sword's got lightning on it.
Yeah, my
Do
sword's
I
got
have
lightning on it.
advantage as per flanking though?
Not
canceling out?
anymore, because you and Telpiran are now looking directly at each other. It's like a elevation level below you now.
You can hop in the pool if you want.
Right.
And Shaggy in the pool.
Did the music stop?
Not for me.
My music's still going.
14.
14. You feel resistance as you cut through the water, but you feel like it wasn't quite enough to strike the true form of this creature. However, with a miss, you will still see lightning disperse in the space, crackling throughout the whole pool, and dealing, looks like 8 damage.
Yes.
Okay. As you hit it with lightning damage, you hear like an immersion of sound and bubbles express themselves within the underneath the water. It seems the creature did not like that type of damage, and it actually outlines its form for a split second. For your next attack, it will not be invisible.
Then just regular.
I think you can lightning. Oh, no, you couldn't. Everyone needs blade singing features.
28,
28?
absolutely. Yep.
Holy shit.
Wait, that's actually kind of a bummer because now when he hits, it doesn't do the lightning.
No, it still does.
Oh, it does. Okay,
Yeah, on a hit or a miss.
gotcha.
The old version of his sword was psychic on a hit, lightning on a miss,
Right,
but now it's lightning on hit or miss. But looks like, is that necrotic damage applicable here as well?
Yeah, the necrotic damage is always part of
From
his
Life
attacks.
Drinker?
Yep.
So it looks like 23?
22, and then one of lightning.
Yes, so an extra little point there. The creature is again wounded and its form highlighted within the water as the electricity coalesces around it, but then a moment after your strike, it becomes invisible again.
We got nothing better to do with my bonus action, so I will hydro it. I will blast water at it.
Okay. I'm gonna give it advantage for
Thematics.
circumstances. 16 will that save?
No. Or yes, it will save. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't affect him. So
For
you do hydro
circumstances.
into the water, but again, just as it's within the water, nothing of note seems to
Jerry, you're
happen.
making it stronger.
Unfortunately, it does not have the Pokemon ability Water Absorb.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
Cool. Staying put.
Yep, staying, sheathing my sword.
Okay. It will be Kinsalo's turn.
Could I say something to Kinsalo as I see him getting
Sure.
ready to move?
Yeah.
And I'll do
He
it in
starts
sort of like
running
a
little bit.
loud whisper. Go keep an eye on that door where the other guards were. We want to know if they hear this and start flanking out.
Oh shit. Yeah, we're making a commotion, but good thing that guy didn't scream. All right. And he'll continue down this way, and he'll use a perception check.
Beautiful.
Nat 20. You see him hold his ear up to the door and kind of puts his head back for a little bit in alert of recognition of voices within that space. But then he gives you like a hand motion suggesting we're good for now. All right, that'll use Kinsalo's turn. Toby, it's you.
Would closing a door be like an object interaction or like an action? I kind of want to just swing this door shut pretty quick.
I think it's fair. That doesn't require heavy interaction. I think you can like sacrifice 5 feet of movement to do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Can I?
We'll have to go up
Yeah,
a space
yes.
to interact with it. But
Is this legal movement?
yeah. Minimal jumping with no obstacles to clear. Yeah, that's totally fine.
So I'll go 1, closed door, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm gonna quicken.
I think one space below. You counted 6 spaces and the closed door.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Again, you're not burning 5 feet of movement to close the door. You go up, then close, then down is your third token.
Oh, door is taking movement.
Yeah, it burns 5 feet of movement to close the
You
door.
can jump across the water.
You can try.
I don't know that I can. So I'll ignore that because I think this is a little more important. So I'll just make my way over to the chest without closing the door.
Okay.
And I will quicken find traps to see
Wow,
if this
okay.
chest is trapped.
Okay. With 5 find traps. Ooh, my sound did just switch. Let me.
I keep
replay that.
trying to rejoin. Sorry if I did that.
Possibly, but that's all right.
I just can't get it to play on my side anymore.
Unfortunately, I'm now losing where the hell that song was saved.
Getting find traps is so fun.
Yeah, if it found traps. The
I
spell
swear
doesn't tell
that-
you where they are.
I swear the song that was just playing disappeared from my playlist. That's kind of wild. Unless, oh no, I think I got it. Yep, I got it. That was so weird. Find traps goes off. Without needing to remind me the specific language of that spell, you do get an indication that there is a trap in this room.
Okay.
But actually, I'll say you get the indication that there's 2 interactable hidden mechanics in this room. One is distinctly a trap. The other is trap adjacent.
Love it. I'd then like to, I guess, try and do a perception check and look around the room, and then I'll convey to Roulette, there's something hidden here. Can you help me look a little closer? Maybe for an investigation on their turn. But
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
This room.
What'd you say, Roulette?
I'm leaving this room.
We gave you a search.
With 25, obviously nothing of note from the chest behind you. It's not making noise or humming or vibrating or anything of note. But you are seeing the way this thing's forms into the water. You would think the bones that have been strewn from previous victims within its form should be sort of floating aimlessly within its space. They're kind of tucked over in one corner, almost either fixed in place or kept there by the elemental's form.
So there's loop down there.
But that is Toby's movement, bonus action, action. Anything else of note?
I will say chest is probably trapped. Something's going on with the bones in the pool. And that's my turn.
Okay. Roulette. Oh, it is actually top of initiative, so Telperion, you can make an adjustment if you want. As he walks away.
Michael.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I only have so many hands. What's up? I'm not leaving anymore.
Tactician.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Roulette is up. I want to bring Toby or Jiri. Does one of you want to do something more than the other? No, Toby's behind the monster, right?
Both
Underneath.
of them are.
I'll bring up Toby. To behind me. No, in front of me.
In front of you. Okay. So Roulette, you are up.
Toby, you're on your own. I'm getting out of this room, and we should continue searching for whatever we're looking for. 10, 15, 20.
As you enter the hallway, Roulette, shouting a quick command to Toby and then getting out of there. As you leave
Stage
its
whispering.
reach, that's fine. But as you leave the creature's reach, it from its invisible position, from a tentacle spot you didn't anticipate lashing out at you, it will make one reactionary opportunity attack.
Cute. Probably gonna hit me because it's at advantage.
It will be at advantage per invisible.
And I might throw a shield out.
24?
It leaves invisible when it attacks, though.
Oh.
You can see its form. You can tell where it is when this attack happens.
Yeah, that's gonna big ol' hit.
Okay. You will take 15 points of slashing damage as this thing's tentacles like manifest into very thin, sharp
Ow.
claws at the very edge of them. 15 slashing. You're not concentrating on anything, are you?
Just winning.
Okay. And you are grappled currently. And while until the grapple ends, you are also restrained.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm back here. Well, get out of here. I'm assuming I'm over here
Yes.
currently. Fine. You want to put? So restrain gives me disadvantage on things. I forget.
Yep. Disadvantage on attacks. Things have advantage against you. I think you might automatically fail dex saves, etc.
I love that it was you that wanted to leave the room, and now you're grappled in the room.
Speed is 0 and can't increase. Attacks, advantage and disadvantage. Disadvantage on saving throws, so not auto fail.
Dex saving throws.
Yeah, disadvantage on dex saves.
My D&D Beyond just froze. Fine. And I will turn, and I'm just gonna, if he's got me like arms down, I'm just gonna trigger my glaive, to shoot two coins directly down. I have no idea how this is gonna interact or what the fuck is gonna
Yeah,
happen.
so what does a creature have to do typically? Is it a dex save on their part?
So typically, yes.
'Cause it's not an attack roll by you, I don't think, right?
No, the first thing is a DC 15 dex save to dodge the projectile.
Okay. It does not dodge the projectile. Even with a, restrained arm, you can easily fire into the pool where it exists.
When the line appears, another DC 15 dex save.
Which I think it will auto fail since it was hit
Correct.
by it, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Also, I would have just put it like one directly beneath the dead body and one directly here. So like just two different spots.
Sure.
So the
Yep.
coins aren't next to each other.
I got you.
And then it's 3d8 lightning.
Ooh, we love that 7.
So 10 lightning damage.
Okay, give me a second here. Because Daddy loves an animated effect.
Oh my god, yes.
So springing into existence between those two coin locations, it will take your lightning damage become visible momentarily, so you know its form. It has not left this space since Jiri last attacked it, and it will take more lightning damage than you thought.
And it loses its reaction until the next turn.
Ooh, very cool. Until your next turn?
This is getting lashed.
God, there's so much text in this. I forgot. Fucking Christ.
If it's until the start of its next turn, it is a little unfortunate because it did just use its reaction and will get it pushed back on its turn. But
until the start of their next turn. Yeah.
Okay. It took some damage, and lightning is coursing through its form right now.
End of turn.
Okay, Toby.
Where are the bones? Are they in a corner of the pool? Are they directly underneath the center?
They are in this space. Oh,
I love that question. Where are the bones?
This space.
Right there. And 30 feet deep pool, 5 foot deep pool.
10.
Okay.
You'll have to get in the water to examine it, is the answer.
I'm not even going to worry about examining
particularly
it.
creative solutions.
I'm going to hop in the first 5 foot section of the pool and stone shape a barrier around the bones to section it off from the rest of the water.
Okay.
It's an action.
In order to do that, it will also section you off from the rest of the water, unless you want to just make a little cubby hole for it up beneath you.
Correct. I want to... It's in this 5 foot cube. I'm in this 5 foot cube. I want to create walls in the lower 5 foot cube to basically make this tiny separate pool that is removed from the rest of the pool.
You are able to do so.
And I notice...
And functionally, no, but functionally you are not needing to swim now because you're able to stand. Mm-hmm. You're still half submerged, but you're still able to stand on solid ground beneath you.
Interesting. I don't really have anything to do with my bonus action. I'll just try and get back out of the water, even though I wasn't swimming anymore, but I'll still just hop out of there.
You are able to do so.
That's my turn. I hope it did something.
Telperion, you are up.
That's always the hope, Toby. I'm pulling back, and then the blade starts igniting. And then I hop in with 3 slices. And I'll do my first attack. I think I'm opposite Jiri. Is it? Oh wait, am I just attacking into the water now?
Correct. Into an invisible creature. You know where its position is, but all of these would, in theory, be at disadvantage.
Right. And if I hop in the water, I'll still be at disadvantage, right?
Yes. You would also potentially be within its form if you've picked the wrong spot.
Is that a bad thing?
Probably not for you among any of us with your yukata, but then you'd also be attacking underwater, which I don't know. Oh, but disadvantage.
So disadvantage.
Don't stack. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I still do think this is my best course of action. So first attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
A nat 20 and an 18, so 28.
Absolutely.
This is the fire.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage separately.
Okay. So 9 plus 6, 15 force. And then the fire is 9 fire. And then
you do see the fire damage feel less effective.
Sure. And then I'll swing again. The only thing is, do I want a side strike?
impact with that slash, you do see almost as if a cannonball had fallen into the pool. Just a splash happens when you strike that time.
I do. Can I add on a side strike to that just to
Sure.
keep eating at the damage on this thing? So 8, 9, 10, 11 side damage or force damage.
Okay.
That was a good roll. Okay, 2 more attacks. Nat 20 again and a 7, so 17.
17 will still hit.
All right, so that was 11 plus 6, 17 damage on that one. I think it's working. And then one more attack. I rolled a 15 and a 13, 23.
Does hit.
One more d12. 4 plus 6 is 10 damage on the last strike. And my hair has lots of water in it now.
Again, a cascade, like a shower of just spray emanates from the pool.
And then with my bonus action, I look at the chest again and wish I could kick it, but I can't. Does anyone want to move 5 feet right now? No. We'll just end the 10.
Okay. It is Kellen's turn.
Alright, Kellen will shoot another crossbow bolt at this thing.
Okay.
Reload, take aim, fire.
Okay. It will be he knows where to target, but it would be disadvantage unless he wants to cancel that out with a fighting spirit.
Sucks. Our fighter of the group is fighting spirit short rest.
Did you
I
say
think
our
he gets a
fighter
couple
of the group?
uses.
Is that a samurai thing?
Yeah, it is a
He
samurai
gets 3
thing. I
per
think
day.
it's like
your
yeah,
stat
3
block here
per
is
day.
3 per day.
yeah.
Alright, he's just gonna not use it and fire regular.
Okay, go ahead and roll with disadvantage.
Don't really like the idea of him being the fighter of the group.
12 will not quite do it. He does fire into the pool, but it just looks like it just hits water and then loses momentum in it.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. It is the creature's turn, still invisible, and with its movement, it will drag Roulette into its form, and it will not use its multi-attack. It will use something it has not been able to use this entire time that it would have loved to use on the Drastian Guard, but it will still affect the body of the Drastian Guard. Roulette, I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw as the Elder Weird starts to change its internal composition. You feel your body start to sting and singe with the acidation of that is trying to dissolve your form. With a nat 1, that will certainly fail. Some poor rolls, it looks like, but 23 acid damage you are susceptible to. That's not the word.
Subjected to.
Subjected, thank you. Additionally, while being underwater and this acid starts to corrode your skin and leach away, and you just begin to get raw patches of exposed blood, you shut your eyes in horror, and you think your eyes were just damaged. You are blinded currently.
Boo.
He looks happy about that.
That will be its turn. It is Jiri's turn. Oh, however, Roulette, with the coin still active, I think it will proc some damage, right? If it ends its turn in there. Oh, you're muted, sorry.
Yep, if a creature ends its turn, each creature must repeat the saving throw when it ends its turn or enters the first time.
Okay. I need you to also now make that same saving
Jesus.
throw.
Damn, I almost tried to get you out of the grapple with the silvery barbs, and I'm wishing I had.
I would like to leave the room.
The weird certainly fails. Even you are restrained, so you actually do have disadvantage on that dex save, by the way. Sorry, really piling on here. Okay, you are good. With a 17, you succeed, and therefore I think just take half the lightning damage,
Yeah.
and don't lose your reaction, I believe, either. But it takes some serious damage, and you feel a concussive shockwave from underneath the water as it takes that damage. And again, all of you guys above water see the spray now of, you're realizing maybe, of pain as that creature is taking damage in a very low health threshold. It's doing pretty poorly right now. And Roulette
think
has been
Roulette's having-
pulled underwater. Okay, that is its turn. Jir, you're up.
So I saw it when it took that lightning damage, correct?
Yes, you did see its form. You know where to target, but it is still invisible.
Alright, I'm gonna. Oh, so I can't target it with lightning lure, is what you're saying.
Not while it's invisible. If it says a target that you can see, then no. But as you start to run away from it, you see a tentacle.
No, then I'm not
start-
gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Even for flavor, I'll just say you see a tentacle try and writhe its way out, but the electricity just disintegrates its tentacle. It's not able to use a reaction this turn.
Yes. If it was only momentarily visible to my eyes, then I will just attack it with my sword.
Okay, go ahead and roll. With disadvantage. A 17 will hit. Will absolutely hit. For how much damage? That is enough. How do you kill this elder creature?
Yuri just takes his sword and extends it and just pokes the water with it.
Okay. As you do so,
Real fast.
lightning sort of like just emanates from your blade out throughout the pool, not damaging Roulette. But Roulette, you feel the grasp of this creature relinquish, and you feel freedom come to you. The acidified, corrosive water stops feeling that way. You're still underwater, and your eyes are still damaged, but you're loosed from its grasp.
And then I will bend down and try to pull Roulette into the out of the pool with my big strong arm.
Take
Okay.
my strong hand.
Pull Roulette out. At some point, the shocking coins will end their duration.
It's after like a minute, I think. So, yeah.
Roulette, you are pulled out and freed from its grasp. A little worse for wear.
I will grab Jiri's decanter and I will splash onto my eyes to do a medical rinse.
Okay. As you do so, you are able to clear the corrosive material from your eyes, and slowly, over the course of 12 seconds, your vision does come back to you. Should you have maintained submersion for longer, it could have been more detrimental. But
You're fine. Terrifying.
I'll send Shadow Moby to go get those bones down at the bottom.
okay. Shadow Moby is an unseen servant by nature.
Yep.
Can they go underwater?
Perform simple everyday tasks.
Okay, as long as
feel
we
like-
think its shadowy form can displace and enter water, it might be awkward and visually weird, but it's able to sort of slink down into the base
You
of
have
the
shadows
pool.
in water.
Yeah, that's certainly true. But as it gets down there, it finds a small 5x5 cubby of stone that it cannot get past.
Darn.
Do we still have that pickaxe? I'd rather not cast another stone shape just to get access to the bones, but I guess we might.
I think you're gonna eat your spell slots and you're gonna undo that. We're not gonna use a pickaxe down here. We have to be quiet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is any of this
And-
water like bloody from that the Durastian that died?
Absolutely, from the Drastian that died, as well as Roulette's. Some of Roulette's flesh had sort of been corroded off. Like Roulette's looking like patchy. There's spots of raw, exposed skin that are leaking blood slightly from Roulette as well. So yes, it's certainly bloody down there.
And then send Shadow Moby to absorb that blood to become Spectre Moby.
Yes,
then, as that Durastian
absolutely.
died.
Yes, you are welcome to summon Spectre Moby.
Did that clean the pool of blood?
Oh, whoops.
Ooh, that's cool too. I'll say yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
The,
I
the
didn't want to leave
Dread
it
Iron shadow sort of magnetically coalescing and pulling in the blood particles to comprise part of its form. Yeah, absolutely. It cleaned part of the pool.
Toby, okay, here's the thing. If we get this teleportation writ, we teleport using your spell to get back to Ostenis, and then we can use it tomorrow. Like, I don't want to use it tonight. I think we need to rest and plan before we go in.
For sure.
So I would say feel free to burn some spells, because once we get it.
Fire off a few. I'm going to do Stone Shape.
Wait, hold on. Telperion, where are we resting?
In Ostenis.
He can teleport us back with a word of recall. What kind of so you have to save enough magic to do a word of recall?
Yes. And then the following day we can use the access writ to get to
I don't
Danon.
think we should not be burning spells. We don't know if this writ can be used from outside of Duras. Like, what if it has to be used? What if it's on a pedestal somewhere and has to be read and used right there and like can't be moved?
I mean, your friend didn't say anything about that, and he has one. He said we could use it for like. I think we planned.
He doesn't know how it works. Can we just go find it first, and instead of?
That's a great question. So I'm going to start trying to disarm and figure out how this chest is trapped, because maybe it's in this chest.
Exactly. I want to look at this too and help with that.
Okay. To investigate a trap, that will be investigation on both of your parts, or you could assist each other for one having advantage.
I will guide Telperion to give him a D4 and help him investigate this.
Okay, that's fine. So
ironically, why don't you roll the D4, buddy? Because I don't have a D4 on me, weirdly enough.
+1.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that was a 19 plus 7 plus 1, so 27.
Telperion, you see very clearly on the padlock that's like this pool chest, and there's a padlock there, and you can see very carefully wired a single tripwire that's coated along the base of the lock and tied up toward the anchor base, and then along the lid to the side. Following those up, you see on both sides of this situation there are grooves in the walls, so that should this chest be opened, even if unlocked with a key and then just directly opened, snapping that tripwire would likely send something out of those holes. So you've identified the trap.
So we could move the chest and open it, or we could try to snip those wires or something. So if we touch it, we won't trigger it.
And similarly, Toby, this indicates to you that this was the distinct trap from your information. The trap adjacent thing is elsewhere in this room.
Can any of us disarm with like?
I can give myself a skill proficiency. I can't give myself a tool proficiency.
Steve, don't you have that proficiency?
I have thieves' tools, with which I am proficient.
Really? Can you disarm this trap?
Can certainly try.
Here's a D4.
Is it just
with Toby's guidance, it will be from you generally a dexterity check with your proficiency allowed. Using tools as an artificer, do you get expertise on all things that use your proficiency bonus on tools? That part I don't know.
I know it's for.
I think you might. I think one of your 5th level or 7th features as a artificer, if you make a check that uses your proficiency with a tool, I think you get expertise on it, as long as you're proficient with the tool. So confirm that for me on your sheet. And
after I guide roulette, I will open a hole in the box I made so Spectre Moby can start sifting through the bones.
Okay, sounds
Oh.
good.
Yes, Critter, you are correct. Doubled for any ability check that uses your proficiency with a tool.
Okay, so it will be Dex plus 2 times your proficiency,
+2 from me.
and an additional plus 2. Yep.
1d20 plus.
I
so
can't assist,
plus
can
10.
I would say no. You don't have a tool proficiency sufficient for assisting his endeavor here.
15 total.
Only
15
This is my last
total.
question.
Yep. What's your
Yeah.
last question?
But having identified the trap really well and being able to say like, "Hey, this is where the trap is." I don't know if those if that
No,
could
that lets it be an interactable object. You've basically highlighted it on the map. But roulette with a 15 total, you are able to pry loose the tripwire, and it starts to retract. But the way you had angled your tools does catch it, so then you're able to very slowly loose it
Separate.
and not spring the trap. It is no longer trapped, but it is still locked.
Christ.
I will take out the other half of my thieves' tools to try and pick this lock.
Okay, you are welcome to make the same modifier of check.
Guidance
Still
again.
Dex plus 2 times your proficiency bonus.
For
Get
this time.
Kiramar out ready to cut through this lock if it doesn't work.
34.
I wish there was something beautiful I could give you for a nat 20, but you are
You unlock
very
it.
quick with the lock. You do unlock it, and as you open this, all you see is beautifully pristine velvet bathrobes lined up in piles.
Any sort of monogram on these things, or
Yeah,
A
actually,
coyote.
they would. There's a level
big
of
D.
gaudiness, and yeah, there is a VD on there.
Right, so we're taking these because they were under a trap in the lock,
Well, I'm gonna
behind
spare
a water
a
element.
first level spell just because I got plenty of them, and I'll do a detect magic.
Okay. As you cast detect magic, there's a sort of subtle, almost silverish glow from the base of this chest underneath the robes.
Move the robes. Move the robes. Move the robes.
I
will take
picked
out one of
robes
the
up.
All right, where's the
I will
false
put the
bottom?
robe on.
And what colors are
the
these
robes-
robes? I don't care about underneath them.
Underneath the robes. What color are the robes? The robes are like
Is there
a
a teal
deep-
one?
a deep burgundy, but like with a
Oh.
hue of red that's like it's like more crimson burgundy.
How close to
Um,
Steve's
literally
butt
the-
curtain there?
Yeah,
Very
literally that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with some silver and gold trim here and there. But as Telperion pulls up one of the robes to inspect its quality and color, there are 3 potions underneath the robes. 2 you can quickly identify with a visual. They're glowing, they're filled, but you don't see liquid inside. They are 2 potions of invisibility. And then there is 1 potion also empty, but still filled and glowing, that is a larger, more ornate container.
Does Daddy have Identify prepared today?
Is that a greater potion of invisibility?
Because that'd be crazy.
That
I mean,
seems an intuitive discernment based on the materials in front of you.
oh fuck! These could
Um,
be so handy when we go into the
While I
rest.
have
And
detect magic up for another 10 minutes, I'll do a walk around the room and see if I can tell if the other thing I got a hint of is something magical that is gonna ping me.
As you do a cursory surveillance of the room, you don't find anything, but Jiri, you hear in your mind, Jiri, there is something over here. The Spectre has found something. Amidst the bones, at the base of the pool.
Okay. Tell our Spectre bring up whatever you found. Jerry doesn't want to go in the
Jerry-
water.
I don't think it can. It's something affixed to the bottom, grooved into and recessed in the stone.
All right, Roulette, you and I are both wet. Who's getting back in the pool?
Yeah. Who wants to go?
Neither one of us.
Guys?
And I'll take Moby
Right word,
4 off my hip. I will just drop my little spiderling into the water as my little familiar, and I will go blind and deaf as the ball sinks to the bottom where Shadow Moby is.
Okay. Shadow Moby sort of hovers still in that spot, and now you see what Shadow Moby was interacting with. Pushing some of the bone pile to the side, there's like this recessed 6-inch diameter circular shape, like a disc, and in the middle of it, there's a thin, long, 5-inch long, 1-inch diameter rod that is like affixed to a small fulcrum. It looks like something meant to be turned that is outside the capability of Shadow Moby or even Moby 4 to sufficiently, with strength, interact with.
It's looking like it's either like a drain or something, but I guess looking at it really quick, can I tell if this is how you drain the pool, or is this meant to be like?
You actually do not see any drain holes or grooves sufficient for draining, so you do not think that's what it is.
Can I
this
see
is some
the
sort
lever?
of.
Down in the dark with Shadow Moby, it's dark. You have dark vision. Sure, you can see where the object is.
You were saying?
No, I was saying this is a lever or for something outside this room. It's likely not. They wouldn't drain this for this little elemental thing to be loosed anyway. So
Was this elemental thing guarding that drain?
Probably.
Can I could I try to Kair it a little bit to see? I don't want to do it all the way, but I want to see if I could do it.
With Kair, you feel that mage hand capability is similar to Shadow Moby's availability, similar to Moby 4's interactability. It will require more than a pet level strength check to sufficiently turn that lever.
How far down is it?
Can't do them all at the same time.
It's 10 feet down at the very base of the pool's depth. But I'll just fill you in, Telperion. You do think your full telekinetic movement feature might be sufficient to apply pressure. That's just a resource you're in theory burning.
Yeah.
But
I can turn it right now if we want. I'm really curious. I think that this guy's got some creepy shit down here, and this was here for a reason.
Let's all go stand out in the hallway, and
do we want to find what stumble across a locked door first before doing this and activating and alerting the guards who are likely going to come out at some point?
Why don't we just go kill the guards? Said one of them, and then ask one of them what this does.
We have no idea how many there are, and also we wanted to keep this as quiet as possible, so that they weren't the folks in Daenor weren't alerted immediately.
yes,
Armor in the pool now.
sorry?
The armor is there armor and bones in the pool now from the guard?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So Roulette's point
Somewhat
is interesting.
oxidized with the caustic brine of the creature.
Can I Kair out a bunch of it?
Yeah, your Kair, I don't think is going to be able to lift his chainmail out of the water, but it will be able to get the short sword, his crossbow, and his cordon of crossbow bolts.
Okay. I'll even burn a great. I'll just should I just hop in there? We got to clear this pool because, to Roulette's point, all that's happened so far is one guard has gone missing tonight, and if we understand these people correctly, that would be really intriguing and not necessarily alert him to shit got stolen. So currently, yes, we don't want to be detected, so it's good we haven't set off those guards.
Yeah, but we should leave his stuff there. That way, when they investigate, they find out that he got eaten by the water thing.
I guess they will find out that and the water thing will be dead.
Not all of his flesh and organs and stuff have been dissolved. A dead body is still in the pool for now.
Can we relock the chest and arm the trap again?
I would say arming the trap, relocking the chest, yes. With a quick tool check by roulette, you can relock it. But rearming the trap, I will say, will require another check, which could accidentally trigger the trap if failed. So it's a small risk.
We want to do that roulette because that way, if they find out it's still armed, they might not check to see if the potions were stolen. I guess we should put the ropes back.
Not the robes.
It's up to you. We don't have to, but
The gumdrop button.
Sure, I can try and reactivate the trap. Put everything back in.
Okay, go ahead and once more, Dex plus 2 times your proficiency bonus.
+1.
we keep the potions though. We put the ropes back in.
Keep the potions. Successful. Re-looping the tripwire along its previous route and locking it back in place. You are able to set the trap.
Wait, did we sift? Oh, okay. Sure. So before we turn the thing, let's go find out. But I really want to turn it before we go. Maybe just before we
Kinsalo's
teleport out
still
here.
in the hallway with his ear pressed up to the door, still staying watch. He just gives you guys a shh as you guys enter the hallway. He's clearly keeping an ear out on individuals that are there.
Is there a door next to Consolo?
Yes, there is. Right to his left.
Did
guards
he
are.
hear people in there?
Yeah.
I thought the guards were.
So there's another room of guards.
Correct. Yes.
Guards, guards.
Oh.
There are more than one location in this place that have individuals within them.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna continue sneaking around here, and I'm going to peek around the corner ever so slightly.
Okay.
Oh,
You
You
see
make that
the back
see
half
through
of the door that you think is the other side of the room from where you guys entered. So there are
Like the other
definitely
side.
some version of guards in that room.
okay.
We peek through the keyhole. Jerry ducks down and tries to peek through to see how many
Sure.
guards there are.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage. And DC might be a little high, but it's definitely doable.
Can't your thing see through doors?
Oh yeah, you could use your ability if you want to.
Well, let me just see what I get here first.
That will
11?
not quite. The keyhole's a little too thick door, and the tumblers are oriented away where it doesn't give you a clean line of sight into the room.
Alright, Shadow Movie, count how many people are in that room. And then I direct him to... Oh, I whisper it to him. And I direct him to peek through the thing to see.
Okay, he can certainly make a check. Yeah, use the Spectre's wisdom and roll with disadvantage.
He's invisible, can he... Is he able to,
But
like, squeeze
The
through?
Spectre's not invisible anymore. It's a physical creature, right? I don't think the
It's the
Spectre
blood.
naturally is invisible.
Oh, so when Shadow Movie's out, I can't also... When Blood Shadow Movie's out, I can't also
Yeah,
have...
I guess you could also summon the Unseen Servant. We've just kind of flavored it as if the Unseen Servant siphons blood into him and becomes the Spectre, but you could certainly summon your Unseen Servant as well.
God, have like one version of it droop out of the current
like
one.
a second
Like he
head.
bursts another one.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna see if that one can poke its head, like, through the keyhole.
It's still a physical being, I think. So it's still going to have to roll a check. Strength of 2. I'll say it can use your wisdom being summoned by you. So you could get another try at this.
Invisible, mindless, shapeless force.
Shapeless.
Shapeless.
Yeah, Shapeless is interesting, but it's still an interactable servant that can do normal tasks a human servant could do. So I think it's still occupying space in your surrounding. It's not like a air elemental. But you can have it roll a check with disadvantage still.
I was just reading it. Okay. We'll see if they can see better than me.
I'm not getting anything from it, Jerry.
All right, I guess we don't kill all the guards. Let's just keep going.
But even with you guys' level of perception, you can still hear small volume conversation taking place in there. So there's certainly people in there, but you also knew that entering the space.
Who put the potions in their inventory? We should make that clear before we move on.
I will.
Bye.
Inventory, add,
2 potions of invisibility and
then
1
big
larger
invisible
unknown
container.
potion. Yes.
So, okay, the door that Jerry was just checking, is that the door that Kinsalo is currently in front of?
No,
No, it's a different door.
Further down the hallway.
The
and
entire
the
right- the
hallway
entire-
ends there.
The entire
Okay.
right half of the map is a guard's room, we are assuming. One door on the
So-
top, one door on the bottom. Kinsalo standing in front of another door that is another guard's door. I am just going to start heading back up north. Because was the only other door we saw the...
Doors at
The,
the top, the north side.
I
know
see
there was-
what you mean.
This
prisoner-
door appears to have a heavier locked door.
Do we think that the door, the weird pool thing, could undo this door?
When you say padlocked, like there's a physical lock on this thing? Or is it like with a keyhole? Or is it just like...
There does not appear to be a keyhole. It appears to be some rather intricate mechanism, but certainly higher level security on this. Difficult lock to try and pick. Which in theory you could try to do. Even if it doesn't have a functional keyhole.
Do you think that thing in the pool is
Okay.
the lock? The unlock?
I'm just gonna go turn it. I don't think it's gonna hurt. Either, because think about it this way, this thing is either, and this is a whisper, either this thing is in front of guards, in which case we're gonna have to get them out of that room, or it could be, we could go turn that thing.
All right, if you're gonna go turn it, everybody get behind me. If the guards come out, I'll zap all of them all at once.
Alright, I'm gonna go turn it. I go in the room. Meow, meow, and I actually want to close
Wait,
the door.
Can we
Oh,
pause-
sorry.
Can we pause quick? Can everyone just move their characters up to the north by the door?
I'll get Kinsalo up there too.
I'm going to step in this room just to make room. Or no, if Jiri's moving down, I'm gonna go right here.
Yeah,
There's
you're
nowhere
gonna
to
be
hide
ready
in
to.
here, is there?
The what?
Then.
There's nowhere to hide in this room I'm in, is there?
Nowhere to hide. It depends on from what vantage point, from who. Outside in the hallway, yeah, you could hide from someone in the hallway.
Well, I just mean like I'm gonna poke
If
my head
another
out.
individual was inside the room, you can't hide really behind or under benches unless you were inside the chest or maybe at the bottom of the pool.
No, what I will do is I'm gonna. Which way did the door swing? Left or right? Whichever way it swings, I want to stand behind the door.
swings in, so it swings into the room. I'll mark it up just because that's
So
kind
I
of
wanna-
fun. You asked that.
So I want to stand here. So if and I'm gonna close the door
That
before
is
I-
exactly, yeah. That's the direction the door swings.
So I want to be hidden behind the door if they open the door, and I'll have a moment's advantage. And I will look down and telekinetic movement, twist that thingy.
Okay. As you find purchase with it too strong for Kaer, you use the full force of your telekinetic movement, get a firm grasp on it, and you twist. You hear it grind on stone purely because you're in this room, but even submerged underwater, it barely makes a sound, just vibration. And up near Roulette and Tobirama, 2 things happen. The portrait of Vigdamir behind Kellen, the eyes dim as if they were magically illuminated previously, and you hear a click of the padlock.
So it
I do
was
the-
watching if we just lockpicked it. Maybe now it's not
the-
watching.
I'm the guy from Mad Max or Fury Road. Is like, that's a trap.
Oh yeah, that's such a good thing from Tom Hardy.
I'm already for sure. I'm gonna poke my head out the door, and if I don't hear any guards, I'm gonna go join my friends.
You do not hear any sounds. There was not sufficient environmental stimuli to warrant other people's alertness. With that in mind, do you guys proceed through the door?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Today's Morndas, right? It's still the same day as yesterday.
It is Tourdas. It is not the same day as yesterday.
Oh my god, in Wicked, she goes, "It's tomorrow," or no?
But as you push the doors open, they open to a very small and musty smelling chapel room. There's a couple stone-hewn benches carved from the very ground. They didn't look like they were placed in here. They looked like they were carved from here. And there's a few scattered, arranged pieces that might catch your eye or attention in the space. There's a large, unique-looking statue of what looks to be a humanoid man. There looks like an open tome book of scrawlings and scribblings of some other language. And there seems to be another door at the other side of this room, as well as right next to the door, a series of cups, chalices, and other concoctions, like a little cocktail drink bar. Some of the cups and chalices are rather unique looking. Some are mundane and simple, but there are 5 specific chalices or drinking vessels that distinctly catch your eye.
Before
But
anyone
you
else
guys are
crosses
welcome to
the
move into this
threshold
space.
into the room, I will look in there and just do another quick find traps. 2nd level spell.
You actually do not detect any traps in this room.
I start flipping things.
Okay.
I'm gonna go relook in the book.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
now I'm going to sit down and ritually cast Detect Magic. If we spend 10 minutes in here, I'll be working towards that. If not, I will not do it.
Okay, you start working on your ritual. Telperion starts to look at the tome. Jiri and Roulette, what are you guys interested in doing?
I'm putting my ear up to the next door, examining this door, just like seeing what it looks like, and trying to listen to see if there's anyone on the other side.
Okay. How about you, Jiri?
Yuri's gonna make a point of telling everybody, see, this is typically when I would spray water all over the place. Then everybody know we were here. And since I left that calling caller, they'll know that we weren't here, since I'm not gonna do it this time.
Holy shit, Jiri's been playing the long game.
Couldn't
It's
have been
the
a
wet
Forsaken
bandit. Jiri's the wet
Couldn't have been the
bandit.
wet-
It couldn't possibly be the Forsaken Winds because there's no water here. That's incredible. Oh, man.
Close the door behind
Really-
us when we enter also.
Okay,
I
you're
wish-
welcome to do that.
If we were to teleport out of here, if we found the writ in here, we should probably relock that thing under the pool. So again, no one thinks that because a dead god is in that pool and maybe killed the weird. You know what I mean? Reseal the
Alright.
room.
So as you guys begin to poke and prod around at this space, Roulette, go ahead and make an investigation or perception check based on if you're looking visually, finding something about the door versus hearing what's on the other side. So you self-regulate which checks used there. Tobirama, your detect magic starts to play out. Jiri hanging out with Kellen and Kinsalo. Telperion, you take a look at that tome. It seems to be heavily written in a language you don't know, but based on previous interaction in this cellar space, you think it's abyssal language, a different assortment, more chaotic, more indiscernible than the very structured infernal, but still using the infernal alphabet for it. But there are heavily annotated sections of this tome as you flip through it of a different language. You go ahead and make a history check to see if you can quickly identify what that language is. Roulette with a 13, you don't hear anything on the other side of the door, nor do you necessarily see anything that would catch your perception on this side of the door. No glowing runes, etc. Telperion, with the 17 history, you quickly identify that that is Orcish script that is annotating the abyssal tome.
I'm going to start ritually casting comprehend languages.
Or you could ask your friend Tobirama to read the Orcish to you.
I'll read the abyssal too, though.
There you go.
Okay. You think about asking Toby. You know he knows Orcish, but he's deep in thought on casting his own ritual. So not bothering him, entering your own comprehend languages. Toby, your detect magic will kick off first over the course of 10 minutes. A couple things light up. Number one, the tome has a lingering sensation of magic, but it's not being affected by a spell. It has roots and history as being used in magical environments, so it kind of has a whisper. But more notably, various of the concoctions at the little mixing bar you're next to do glow. And I'll go ahead and just describe to you a couple items. There's like a simple water skin laying on one of the bars, but it seems to be made from like a red leathery skin type material. There's a small little vial that looks like an eyeball facing down, where the optic nerves falling off of it are pointed and angled up.
That's
like it's a little stopper of liquid contained in there. There's another one where it looks like some tooth or tusk of some ancient creature has been hollowed out to make like a drinking horn. There's a single like skeletal hand grasping a bottle, and the hand, it looks like it's cut off at the wrist, and that is the base of this concoction. So it's like holding another bottle. And then finally, there's a single silver chalice that looks like the skeletal face of like a skeleton face, but its eyes have been replaced with a ruby each.
Some evil witch.
The chalice, the skeletal faced chalice glows, but so does one other container, the skeletal hand holding the bottle. The other three, the water skin, the small vial, and the drinking horn, do not glow.
I want to take the water skin, and I'm going to go into this assuming it's filled with blood.
As you touch it, it is certainly filled with a liquid, but it is stoppered and tied around the top of the water.
I'll start undoing it, give it an unfortunate whiff, and maybe try and hold it up to a light to see coloration of liquid inside.
Sure. As you start interacting there, Telperion, your comprehend languages will go off, and you are able to read both the Abyssal and the Orcish script. As Toby and Telperion start to pour more thoroughly into these portions, what are Roulette and Jiri up to?
Is the door locked?
That is something your perception will give you. There is no keyhole, no knob, no opener. A little pressure on it doesn't indicate you push it and it slides. You don't see grooves that suggest it's like almost a false door. It seems like a door, but it's like fixed in place with no clear indication of how it might open.
When is a door not a door?
When it's a job.
That was so fast. Yeah, that was good.
Am I gonna have to use all of my 4th levels on Stone Shape to open this door? But I'm not worried about that yet.
Jiri, how about you? Roulette's considering the door a little bit more. Are you just...
I'll investigate. I'll look around with Callan and see if there's anything else interesting. Just kind of more of a general perception of the room.
I would say passive perception reveals not a bunch of note. Some half-lit candles that have been burned down. This place has certainly seen use. But the thing that I think would catch your eye, not interacted by the others yet, is the large statue behind the altar that Telperion's at, that seems to be looming with the face of a rather handsome, well-groomed, bearded, and mustached human individual. You think they're human. Their ears aren't pointed. They have no other distinguishing features of a different race. You can make a history check to try and understand if there's something you might connect with there.
Can Kellen and I do a history check together?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of this thing? Ever seen it before? Let's see if
Yeah,
Callan's got a
you
better.
can-
He's
each
got a
roll, if you
0
would
in
like.
his intelligence, so it might
You
be
guys
That
better
is
than
better
yours.
than
roll or
mine.
one of. So you could assist him if you want to give him advantage, or you could each roll if you want the. It's 2d20s
The
either
minus
way, but your
1 or the
choice.
0?
I love the
I
buff
will
you're getting
take-
on this history check.
I will take Alan going and giving him advantage.
Hey,
Wow.
What's a
Killen's like, oh yeah,
genius.
it's that big.
This is his hyperfixation.
Jesus.
You're talking with Kellen a little bit back and forth, and you start suggesting it might be someone infamous from Durastian history, and Kellen's like, I don't know much about Durastian history, but when Ira used to tell us ghost stories back in Forest Hollow with the Noras, he used to tell fascinating creatures stories about vampires. I don't know why, but this feels like my exact understanding of what a vampire would look like. Huh. Not concerning at all.
I love Kellen's disposition.
Agreed.
Ooh, Kellen, we need a meat treat for the vampire.
Telperion, as you're aimlessly saying that to Kellen, but also reading through the Abyssal and Orcish, you get a couple descriptors of additional information. The Abyssal, it is a thick tome of Abyssal histories, rituals, but Abyssal not just in terms of the abyss, the plane of chaos and evil that exists, but Abyssal accounts of other creatures and denizens of the dark spheres of existence. Most notably, this seems to centralize around a single figure, Cass, the first vampire, who is famously an antagonistic enemy of Vecna, an almost demigod lich, long lost. He's tried and failed to ascend to full godhood many times throughout history and has always failed. But putting 2 and 2 together, you think the statue looming over you might be of Cass, the first ever vampire. And a lot of the Abyssal Tome is rituals, histories of Cass's exploits, and then you get the understanding that it is a source of inspiration for the denizens of Skullhouse Demir, and which might imply a dip into vampiric practices among their ranks. There's Orcish annotation heavily throughout that would indicate Vig Demir's personal annotation of the Abyssal Tome. He seems capable of reading, but he's jotting down shorthand of important bits and pieces that unveil a couple of things. Number one, they have succeeded only once in the creation of a reflection phantom that has inverse properties of the vampiric traits that they're not seen in mirrors. A reflection phantom can only be seen in a reflection of a mirror. You think that has something to do with the experimentation of the creature in the previous room you guys infiltrated. Additionally, there's information of unique recipes of some poisons and potions, and then some sketches that indicate a connection with the mixing bar over in the corner. And at the bottom of the recipe section, and there's some equation-based thoughts and logic to that page, and at the base, sketched out in Orcish, but you understand its meaning from the Abyssal as well, is a small poem that says, "Give to him your crimson gift, that it may sate his lips. Then 2 trophies from foe of old, and last his skull a kiss."
You post that in the chat.
Yep.
Eye of Vecna, hand of Vecna. Give the skull chalice a kiss.
Oh, it's a riddle. This is how we get through. Oh shit. God damn it.
What?
You all realized that 4 seconds before me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I was busy reading and writing. Never mind this tome I just read, and I'm not stupid.
Oh, it's a riddle.
Okay. Give to him your crimson gift that it may sate his lips. Then 2 trophies from foe of old, and last his skull a kiss.
Hey, riddle doers, I have a riddle for you.
So give him blood and something.
We have to put the blood on the statue's lips, probably.
Oh, don't
And
you
then-
think?
Blood on the
And then you-
lips, then you do the eyeball and the hand potion, and then the skull
Like-
potion.
Critter, am I correct that this statue probably has like upturned hands?
With the indication, with passive investigation by Roulette, as well as the lack of emanating magic from the statue, you do not think the statue is at play in this
Oh.
riddle.
I think
The
this has to do with the
statue seems-
potions.
The statue seems fully mundane and just a source of inspiration and worship outside this riddle's suggested action.
Because the cups over there were a
There's
little eyeball vial, tusk of an ancient creature horn, a skeletal hand,
Mhm. And
the
then a
water skin with-
skull with ruby eyes.
Is the water skin empty?
No,
The water
that's
skin
what I
seems
was.
to be filled with some liquid.
That is what
All
I
of the
have
drinking
opened
vessels.
up and started to look in.
Yeah, so actually, all of the vessels seem to be filled with some liquid. You slosh them around, you can feel and hear the presence of liquid in each of them, except the skull chalice is fully empty.
I know we were talking about leaving this place as it was. I will not let that tome stay here when we leave. I will be taking that with me. That is an abomination that does not deserve to remain in the hands of such people.
Totally, you're right. These potions in here are so interesting. I mean, evil. Hell yeah.
Wait, lift it up a little. I thought I saw the
No,
answer.
no language, no
Uh,
text.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I love it.
That's what I was thinking. Cool.
A drinking
Give
horn,
him your
a
crimson
chalice, a
gift.
small dropper, a bottle held by a skeletal hand, and a water skin.
Trophies from foe of old. So
Eye in hand. Isn't
Of
that
Vecna.
Vecna lore?
the ancient creature's horn would be a trophy. As
No,
might
the eye
No,
and
the eye in
the
the
eye
hand
and
of
the
Vecna.
hand. Are the
Mm.
because he was a foe of Vecna, the original Dracula.
Yeah, based on your reading of the Telperion of the tome, Roulette and Toby Rama suggesting that certainly aligns with the idea that those might have been some of Cass's greatest triumphs, removing the eye and hand of Vecna.
cool.
So that's those two. Then the last one is the skull. Give his skull a kiss. So that the other two aren't super clear in their involvement in this riddle. The water skin and
Christopher.
the horn.
Is there any space under the door, or like is the door connected to the floor? That I'm going to
Connected
do air.
to the floor, connected to the ceiling, a full height door. That it is a door. It looks like a stone door that should be able to slide or move or rotate inward like a normal door, but it's like sealed. It's like it's carved from very stone. There are no grooves or recesses. No scrape marks suggesting motion.
I mean, is it about pouring in liquid and putting it in the cup last?
Well, we have to give him our crimson gift,
Which is blood.
that it may sate his
Is
lips.
none of these liquid or none of these blood?
And so now back to me opening the water skin, the red leather water
That's-
skin.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. Go ahead and make a
Medicine, nature.
yeah.
Constitution throw.
I
You're
think it's blood.
proficient. Telperion has typically done the alchemical pursuits, but Toby Rama, you're certainly versed in herbalism and are proficient with that. So go ahead and make Yeah, go ahead and make either a medicine or nature check and add your herbalism. It's really it's an intelligence or wisdom plus your proficiency for the herbalism kit. Is this based on wisdom or is it based on intelligence? Your experience is more experience based than knowledge based, so I'm going to say make a wisdom check plus proficiency.
Not very good.
Sleep watching and do
2
mental
plus 9 is 11.
Guidance.
It smells almost like sour milk.
If I
It's kind of off-putting, but
if I make a
there's
light
sour
in my hand and hold it over the top, can I see a coloration to the liquid?
Yeah, absolutely. Pale yellow.
Sour milk.
Hello.
Yellow.
Hey, Kellen, we need some blood, actually.
Chill,
I got it. What do you want me to
chill.
kill?
Well, just poke your hand a little bit. Oh, wait, no, people always do
damn.
it on their hand. I need, pick a spot. And we'll
Yeah,
just get
everyone
little.
always chooses to slice across their hand. It's like,
Yeah,
just
where's the
do
worst
this.
nerve ending?
Like,
Takes his flame tongue and just kind of gives himself a little bit of a nick, and there's a little bit of blood on his blade. Where do you want this?
give it to him that it may sate his lips.
Do we need to
Put
see
it
that
in the
picture
cup.
again?
You don't put it in the cup because you have to drink out of the cup, right? Or put it in
Alright.
the drinking horn.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
isn't the horn the drinking horn? The drinking horn.
Blood in the drinking horn?
I think that's right.
Sure.
We can move it to something else.
He kind of flicks his sword, and a spray of 2 or 3 tiny drops hit the orange brown amber coloration liquid inside the drinking horn on its little stand, and the bits of blood just kind of hit the surface and then just sink into the horn.
Cool. Give to him your crimson gift, that it may sate his lips.
Give to him your crimson gift. We
Give
are
to him your
vampires.
Blast his skull a kiss.
There's some active verb transitive properties that I'm wondering about. Are we talking about crimson gift to all of these?
Toby? Cup next? Think that was your idea?
The skull chalice is the top of the skull cut
It is
clean
like a
so that it's got
cranium.
a hole to drink out of.
Correct.
So
Yeah, and it is empty. So it is like a cranium was completely cut across and emptied out.
anything
almost.
going on with where the mouth would be on the skull? Of the
It looks
chalice?
like a design of, bared teeth in the
With just
classic skeletal
solid
way.
flat.
Yeah.
I think in
Hey.
the skull you're supposed to put blood,
What's-
a drop from the eyeball vial, a drop from the hand bottle, and then you drink it.
Give to him your crimson gift that you may sate his lips. Who's the him here? The door? Or whoever's about to drink whatever this is?
Jesus.
Ooh, or maybe the skull.
The cup? Certainly. The skull chalice seems the most important and the final recipient, but are we making a potion to look through that door? Do we think the phantom is there? The mirror phantom?
They had successfully only created one.
Give to him your crimson gift. So the blood in
We are sating
water
his
skin.
lips with blood. Then we're sating his lips with 2 trophies from Foe of Old. And then lastly, we give it a kiss. So I'm just now confused about what the water skin has to do. And the tusk, the horn cup has liquid in it before Kellen put his blood
Yes.
in there.
Yes. And it still has liquid in there. You're not sure if it interacted with the blood in any meaningful way versus just sank to the bottom. But yes, it looks like an amber ale coloration, whereas the water skin had a pale yellow.
Christopher,
Sure.
I have a set of jeweler's tools. Would it be what is it called? The thing they use to look closely at
Yeah,
things.
an appraiser, like whatever the appraisal eyepiece is.
A crossword word that I should know, and I don't know what it is. Would it be, I have no idea what's constituted, but just knowing physics, would it be safe to say that the inner workings of that are mirrors?
Oh, interesting. I do think that's the case.
Lenses,
Yeah,
glass.
lenses. I actually think lens physics is probably different than reflection-based physics. It's
Refracting
reorienting.
versus reflection.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It's really a question of refracting versus reflecting. But you think reflecting might happen in the interacting of that, but lens, telescope-wise, lens in front of lens it would not be reflection-based.
Okay.
It's
I will forget that for a
refraction-based.
second. I'll forget that until I remember that word, and then I'll shout it later. But I'm assuming in my jeweler's kit, I could find at least some sort of small mirrors that would be like a safe
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
I'm going to stand in this corner, and I am just going to hold the mirror up, and I'm going to slowly examine the room around me, just seeing if there's anything that cannot be seen.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I would like a high number.
20 is pretty high.
Hey.
You do a thorough coursing of the room. You do not think there's anything in the mirror that is there that otherwise wouldn't be, shouldn't be.
I am keeping that mirror.
You feel safe in that moment, but you keep the mirror handy.
I'm gonna throw out my daily Hail Mary, Divine Intervention, and
which has just recharged.
And request for Kelemvor to spare us from having to interact with this profane ritual and open the way to us.
Ooh.
Very cool. Very cool. Go ahead and roll your D100.
I love that.
Dang.
Ooh.
Part of me thought.
That's
Okay, so
very
hang
cool.
on. There's when it says give your red whatever, your crimson gift, the red skin. Do we see the fluid that's in
It's
it? The
a
color?
pale yellow in there, and the horn has
Yeah.
like an amber, almost ale-looking coloration.
And the chalice is empty. Okay, so what if we just pour what if we pour the blood in the chalice and then on top, then we pour a little of the hand juice and the eye juice with the blood into the chalice?
My best current thinking, but then someone's got to drink it.
That's 2 in favor. Kellen almost threateningly dangling his bloodied sword over the cup.
Do it. Just put it in. Crimson gift in the cup.
I'm doing it. He flicks a couple drops of blood into the open, empty chalice, and as soon as they hit, they just pool and expand into more drops of blood, more volume than he put into it, and it fills the container. His blood was just magically generated and expanded, and now fills the volume of the skeletal skull cup.
Does Kellen look like he just lost a lot of blood?
Nope.
Cool.
He looks around kind of awkwardly and nervously.
It's worried that
We
just
hope your blood tastes good, Kellen.
magically happened. Second.
Okay. So then that it may sate his lips. 2 trophies from Philvold. I pick up the eyeball and the hand one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can I uncork them?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I pour a little each in the cup with the blood.
I'll say
now.
the hand grabbing the bottle can be uncorked. The eye-shaped like teardropper has a tiny little thin orifice on the top that isn't really stoppered. It's just like almost like an olive oil decanter type deal. But as you uncork the bottle and have the eyeball teardropper in your hand, do you pour them both in? Okay.
And bloody cup.
Which one, for flavor and curiosity, when you do them at the same time, which one did you favor first?
Then two
I'm
trophies.
gonna go with the hand one first because I want to just do a little drop from the dropper on in the eyeball after.
So you do both. I wanted to just flavor the environmental phenomenon you get as you pour a little of the liquid from the hand bottle. Nothing comes out, but you hear the splash hit the cup, and one of the rubies glows red. And then you simultaneously-ish tilt the eyedropper, and a single drop of black liquid falls and also hits the blood of the cup, and the other ruby eye turns red. So both ruby eyes are now glowing. A concoction made.
All right, give it a kiss, Telpion.
I think a kiss is drinking it, right?
Well, I mean, you should kiss the skull first, just to check.
Yeah, it's maybe you don't have to drink it, but probably.
Hissing a cup. Kellen, it would be great for you to
No,
do that.
No.
No, Kellen will
Kellen,
not be subjected to this. I
you're too
will
valuable,
take
Kellen.
this responsibility.
Hissing it or drinking it.
Both.
You guys haven't steered me wrong yet, so let me know if you need me.
Well, I think if one of us is drinking it, we're all drinking it. But Toby, if you want to try first, Kellen will protect you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's something meaningful I can do to.
Just let me know when
Toby.
someone does something.
Yeah. Part of me worries that would nullify it. I'm just taking a quick moment. Yeah, I'll just do, for my last 4th level spell of the day, I will cast Death Ward on myself to kind of suffuse myself with Kellenvor's magic. And then I will press my lips to the teeth of the skull, see if it's literal and not what I expect it to actually be of giving it a drink.
You look kind of stupid in front of your friends for a split second. That's not bad. Just a split second. Nothing happens.
And then I will take a halfway between, like, a double sip from the chalice.
You put it to your mouth, and as you tilt it, the volume, like, retracts from your lips. It literally gets less volume. And as you keep tilting it, it like almost disappears, and then you hold it right side up again, and it fills again.
I think it has to be the person whose blood it is.
Give it to Kellen.
Yeah, could have thought that through. Probably has to be the person whose blood it is.
All right, Kellen, this is what it means to be an adventurer. Bottoms up.
You can do it.
Oh shit!
Might be the same thing. If it's the same thing, we're just gonna splash it on the door and see if that works.
Here, Telperion, give me your platinum ring. I need you to put it on Kellen, and I will give Kellen the platinum ring and cast Warding Bond on him.
Okay. Bottoms up, I guess.
Did he fake it?
He downs it. You can see in a quick glance, he kind of awkwardly sets the cup down, and then Kellen vanishes.
Oh.
We all have to do that.
Kellen, where'd you go, buddy?
I have the mirror in my hand. Do I see Kellen in the mirror?
You start looking around with the mirror, and then you get him. He's there, but all of you, the rest of you, see him too, because he becomes visible again.
Fuck.
Guys. Holy shit. All the walls got translucent. I was like floating above space. I could see the earth below where we're standing and above where we're standing. I was like, I thought I might have died. So what happened when you guys saw me?
You just went away.
It's like this is a.
Oh, I can see the other side of the door, by the way. There's a staircase over there.
Oh,
It's
so
an
we just
ethereal
become
thing.
ethereal. So this is a one-way trip,
yeah,
in a sense. There must be a way out. So we all have to do that
We all have to
ourselves,
perform.
and then we can walk through the door. Everyone get some blood ready.
Well, can I from the moment he disappeared to when I saw him in the mirror, 6 seconds? seconds.
About 6 seconds. You have a round to utilize your etherealness.
We
Ellen,
start brewing.
What did you do in those 6 seconds? Did you like move around? What'd you do?
I patted myself a lot. I probably spent 4 or 5 seconds worrying that I had died. And then I thought about going to the other side of the door that we can't seem to get on the other side of, but then I popped back here.
Do we think it's still been within the 10 minutes of me casting Detect Magic? Does Kellen seem affected if that is the case?
That's a good question. And I'll say we're at the tail end of the 10 minutes. So I'll give you a quick... No, you could have seen it take place when he disappeared and when he came back. You do think it was distinctly... let me check. I bet it's conjuration.
Vampire magic.
Transmutation. You think it was transmutation magic.
And it has since faded from...
It does fade from his form. Yep. But then your detect magic does run out.
Okay.
It has been since 10 minutes since you guys have been poking around down here.
It seems sufficiently
I'm brewing myself
temporary.
a potion.
Yeah. It seems sufficiently
Okay.
temporary.
Ellen, you're gonna have to do it
Alright,
again.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll
Now I'm used to it. So now I'll make sure to, the C's make it useful.
take a swig of it.
You take a swig.
Wait, yeah.
I make it because we can only do it one at a time, I presume. So I'll go first, and I make it, and I drink it.
You shed a drop of your blood. You spill a little of the invisible liquid from the hand jar, a drop of the black liquid from the teardropper. It fills the cup. The rubies glow red, and you're able to down it. Your senses change. You can see through almost everything. You even think there's like translucent figures in the surrounding space, but it's hard to comprehend or grasp hold of them visually for long enough to see them. But yeah, you can see through the door, and you think you can walk through it.
Before I swig, I'll just say, Toby, you'll have to decide about the book if you're stealing it or not. And I hand it to him, and then I swig, and then in theory,
So
I'll
as
go
you
on the other side.
swig, it also has a small delayed release, giving you sufficient time to set the goblet down before the spell takes place. But then, do you walk through to the other side of the door? All right, Telperion, the first to go on that side. It appears to be a very small resting room. There are 3 little stone sarcophagi that have specific individuals sort of cast in place on the top of their lids, and one that's directly in front of you has nothing on it. And it seems like slightly ajar.
Yeah, so
What's his
go
name?
peek
And
in
you,
it.
and you,
Demir is
and
a
you come
vampire?
back, and you come back, and your feet hit the solid ground again, and you are no longer on the ethereal plane.
Did we care to see if we could re-lock the door before we all leave into this side room? Is there a meaningful way
I
we
don't
can
know.
achieve that?
I don't think so. Not with just 6 seconds. On that, I wanted. What was I just going to check? Yeah, I was going to check a spell. Oh, I was going to check.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, if you say that at a reasonable volume, they do not hear you.
I will
Kellen, get going through.
start
Shit.
going through.
Okay, he'll make his cocktail and go through.
I will follow after.
Okay. Make your
Having
cocktail.
stowed away
through.
the tome and bringing it with me.
Okay. Who's next?
Gonzalo, you're up.
All right. Makes his cocktail, disappears, and enters the room.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my spell. Because maybe it is a good idea if we want to lock this door. Do we think?
It's just you and Jiri in there now.
Table level. At table level, I just want to clarify like points that matter. If they know we took the writ, can they communicate to Daynor before we rest that the writ has been taken, in which case they could set up a guard? I don't know if they have instant communication. And we're also going to leave a fake writ, but if we take the book, it becomes more clear. Like, we don't know if they're going to check what's been stolen right now. If we can, I don't know if we get out of this room, if we lock the door again. There's a
Yeah.
whole stack of different unknowns here.
There's something meaningful about the
Right.
fact that this ball seems to coincide when they do their kidnapping of a person once a month. So this is probably going to they're probably going to come down here soon, I would expect.
We also might not just go tell right away that the writ got stolen, because he might think, oh, it's a chess game. I'm not going to report that I lost something so important. Like,
Sure.
so we don't know how it's going to swing. But individual choice, if you want to steal a book, like, just do what you do.
While I'm, yeah. What's up, Jerry?
I think we should lock the door, and I think you should also make a fake book to leave behind.
Okay. Step one.
I can't help you with that. I can just give you that idea.
Jerry, all I need is a cheerleader every now and then. I will. I'll take out my notebook, and eyes will start glowing as I unlearn. What am I gonna unlearn? I don't know. What level 2 thing do I want to get rid of? I will unlearn kinetic jaunt for the day. And I will learn arcane lock.
Okay.
And
Using your flash recall feature.
yeah. And I will go over to this big door. And I have no idea how I would even flavor something like this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm gonna take one of my lock picks, and I'm just going to like hold it up against the door, and then I'll start whatever other tools I have inscribing runes around it. And then once I'm done casting it, the lockpick will stay glued to the door with a rune that glows around it, and then it'll just stay there and be a locked door. And it
Okay.
lasts until magically dispelled.
Or broken, but yes, and it also increases the DC by 10 to attempt to pick that lock. There's a lot of features in there, but what does it look like when your magic manifests?
Hold on, wait. I want to make sure I read the right one, because this lock can't be unlocked by any non-magical means. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I opened the wrong one because I opened the new one, which was
Interesting.
stupid.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I
yeah,
wonder
yeah,
how
yeah.
I wonder how they changed the language.
Welcome
yeah, I am
to
going off the
2024, boys.
2014 version.
It's fine. I mean, I'm still doing it. So okay, yeah.
This feels like
Literally-
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So the newer version of it, you can't open the door by any
Yeah,
non-magical
so it
means.
seems buffed from the old version. So maybe this first time you ever cast the spell, it's the 2014 version, but you'll get better at it in a couple of months.
Yeah, that's the old one. Literally, so I just imagine, I don't even, there's some show I'm picturing, but literally like this tiny little lockpick is just the seam of the door, and I hold it there, and then it stays glued, and there's like a bunch of runes that glow around it that eventually fade, but it just stays there as like a new lock.
It
on the
feels like
thing.
a fun new variation of immovable object in a way, almost.
Kind of, yes,
Almost,
yeah. Like I imbue
Picture it
this.
from the magician's art, like the style of their magic. Like this seems very like crisp lines of arcane.
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, so I cast Arcane Lock on the door.
Very well. It is arcanely locked.
Jiri, I don't know how to make a copy of a book in such short time. And we already locked the door. We already locked the door, so like the second they get in here, they're gonna know something's up anyway. So I don't think we need to do another book.
Topirian, what are you?
Wait, do
giving
we
a
got
thumbs up
any?
to?
Mikey's thumbsing up Steve.
Do we have any other books we can leave behind though? Maybe one that will like be a little bit better
Cheeky.
for them to read.
That'll intrigue them.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
know,
if I
set
have.
them down the right path. Goodness. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh wait, that'd be a really bad idea. Never mind. I was gonna say leave behind my
the
storybook.
Jiri book.
Yeah.
I think too.
And they'll know.
No, but there's no water. It still couldn't have been them.
Pages are always,
Someone's
pages are
trying to
always
frame
bad.
the four winds.
No, I don't have any other spare notebooks, unfortunately.
Hmm. I got nothing.
I do actually. Hold on. No, wait a second. Okay. I dig deep in the bag of holding, and I pull out something that's called a tattered spell book that we
Okay.
found in the moat cave the first time we left Ostend.
Okay, yeah, from a dead caster of some sort. You are
Yeah.
welcome to remove that from your inventory and leave a tattered spell book. It is
Perfect.
noticeably less thick of a tome, but it is a tome you could leave there.
I imagine
Ooh.
it's literally like it's like the paperback version of like of Cosmere book. Like it's much smaller.
Yeah.
Can Jiri find like something to wedge under it to make it look a little taller? Like
Sure. Yeah. Little collaborative effort there,
I
but you
feel like
guys can
Jiri
set up
watched-
a tome.
Jiri watched Indiana Jones and got way too inspired by like the sand swap.
But once the book
Arranging a little bit of a book environment there, you think on a cursory glance through the room, this could buy seconds or time depending on who interacts with that space.
perfect.
and then I will go on ahead and do the chalice.
And
Wait, hold on.
Thank-
No, I don't. Wait, relent. I can't go last. That's too scary.
Oh, okay, Jerry, you go.
Okay, thank you.
Don't
tell anybody I said
short
that.
time before our other two friends show up, I will flash my eyes and see if there are undead in this space.
Similar to the tome, they're not active undead in this place, but you get the lingering echo of undeath energy coming from both sarcophagi as well as a thin slit where a jar lid on the sarcophagus in front of you that has no distinguishing features of an individual. You get it just like wafting up from the environment beneath.
Can I peek my head in this thing that's open in front of us?
Yeah, you pry the lid a little bit. You needs a little bit of strength, so you're sufficient to do that. Shift it over, look down. There is a ladder, and it goes down about 30, 40 feet. You can see the bottom with your dark vision, and it does look like there's some very light flickering torchlight, brazier light, something down there, because you get distinct little flickers of orangish warm flame light.
I'll start moving that way.
Okay. The next movement available would be climbing down the ladder.
I'm gonna start going down, but I'm just kind of waiting to make sure everyone gets in before I go down.
Okay.
Do I know the abyssal word for halt?
I'm going to say no, you do not.
I could cast tongues on you.
Not right now, you can't. I am going to kneel down in front of the door, and I'm going to take out one of my tinkering tools, which is a tiny little megaphone, and I'm going to hold it to the stone that's directly in front of the door, like the one you'd have to step on naturally. And in my best impression of an Arknight type voice, deep and brooding, I'm going to say "halt" into the stone. And that lasts until I use up 4 other ones. But whenever someone taps it or steps on it, that will be uttered
It
out
will
loud.
emanate it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I go do the chalice thing, and I go through the door.
Okay. Spectre Moby sort of shrugs.
Desummon, resummon?
Unseen Servant, absolutely. The physical specter, I will say there's a comedic scene where he's left in the space alone, with no directions given, but he can interact as a servant could. So he sort of makes himself a cocktail and then out of curiosity just sort of dips his blood encased finger in it and to stir it, and then the lights glow and he downs it and joins you all on the other side.
I love
Yay.
that. I love that. Technically, it's the blood of the
It's
dead
his
dude.
blood. It's their blood, but it's also his blood. Yeah. But he is able to join you on the other side. With all of you guys getting to the other side, Telperion, you make sure everyone's here first. Then you go down first. Okay. I would like to pause things there for a quick bio break. And Michael Jacoby, I need to give you a phone call.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
All right. See you guys after break.
Nothing to do with D&D.
You. He's here.
MK, I can't believe everyone dies in the first 10 pages.
It
It's
is
great.
wild that that happens.
Guys, how far are each of you? MK, I know, is in a different.
Yeah,
I
I have not
know,
caught
but-
up to my pre-reading yet.
I think I'm on day. Well, no, sorry, not gonna say it. Well, I don't know if that's a spoiler. I think I am.
You're
On to-
in the teens.
Hold on, I can tell you really quick. It was really funny. Friday night, because Michael was down in Chicago for like a track conference, so I was just like listening to it for most of the night, and then I was like, oh, I'll like remember to turn this off before I fall asleep.
That's funny.
No, idiot me. Chapter 14 is what I'm up to. And I had to go back and like listen to like the first 45 seconds. I was like, do I remember what happened with this character right here? I vaguely don't. And I was like, let me keep listening. Kept listening. I was like, oh fuck, I remember this entire fucking scene. And then it was like a chapter and a half later. I was like, I feel like I woke back up to listen to part of this after I fell asleep. Anyway, the book's great. Highly recommend. MK, what are you up to on like your active reading right now?
On my active reading, I think I'm literally a chapter in front of you.
Oh, nice. I am about to take a flight tomorrow and a whole lot of like down because I'm going to New York tomorrow. So I will be likely listening to a lot of it and will. Do they still have the Coppermind like chapter by chapter breakdowns for this yet or no?
I have no interest in going to the internet with anything with Wind and Truth until I finish this book. So I don't even know. I
I literally might just have to do a second listen through because there were 1 or 2 names that got dropped, and I'm like, I know who I know. Actually, I might just use you as my resource.
Let's go for it.
Yes.
Literally, this is the first time this has happened, and it's just funny. I have the book while I'm reading it for the first time, because all the other ones I did audiobooks first. I'm like, if I'm not careful, I could open to a later page. And I'm like, I haven't had that sensation since, which is
It
just
is
funny
really
because Chris,
funny.
I know you've been reading the whole time, but like, it's a
Yep.
weird thing that I was like, I need to not open the back of this book.
Yeah, it is really funny how like volatile this can be, where it's like you could just read a character's name.
Because you have to be
And-
very active in the audiobook, like click on a later chapter. So that just has not, it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
funny to me when I first opened it. I opened the table of contents and like started seeing
Oh.
chapter names, and I'm like, oh, I should not
Oh.
look at this.
No spoilers for like. It's gonna take me forever to read this book, so
Yeah,
like no spoilers.
absolutely. I was just saying how it's weird for me. This is the first time I've had the physical book and could potentially spoil myself if I'm not careful.
Spoiled it. Spoiled it. Spoiled it.
I got a signed copy. I don't know if you guys did too. I don't know if they're all signed, but like,
It's randomly dispersed. It's randomly dispersed. That's fucking
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I got a signed one.
That's amazing.
That is
Dude, I'm
amazing, and that's
so-
so right. That's so right that you, as Cosmere Daddy, got the signed
Granddaddy.
copy. Yeah.
I literally had the thought as I was like going to pick it up off the little display stand. I was like, "Am I about to pick up all of these and look for them?" But I'm like, "No, just
I
grab one and
know,
go.
I
Just
was
grab one and
thinking
go."
about that.
Because I did know he was dispersing those.
That's
Well,
so
it was just
cool.
funny. I was talking to the lady who was like working checkout at Barnes and Noble, and she's like, "We had a line out the door at 9 o'clock this morning for people
That's
waiting to get it."
awesome.
I was
Yeah,
really
so it's-
worried that me getting off work late yesterday or 2 days ago was gonna, hurt me in that way.
I checked ahead, and it was like, yeah, stuff was in stock. So, so does Telperion die when he steps through?
So,
Fingers crossed.
as we resume here, Telperion volunteers to go down first, and he makes his way down the ladder.
I got this, everybody. The fighter of the party's got it.
He descended the ladder. He's not calling back up.
Telperion? Is it dark?
It's pretty dark, but dark vision is sufficient to see the bottom of this pit.
Yeah, human.
Do you take a
was
look?
mine.
That was my misconception. I mean, I'm looking, and I'll light up a rock, and I will just drop it.
You drop it in, a second or less of whatever gravity takes to pull the rock to the bottom. It hits the bot, clacks, clangs, whatever sound it would make against stone. Nothing happens to it. It is glowing at the bottom of the pit now. Oh.
I will take out Moby 4, and I will stick him onto the ladder, and I will goggles, headphones, and I will start having Moby 4 climb down.
Super interesting. Okay. That's a
Do you
super
need-
interesting thing.
You need
I
Moby
just
4.
need to... No, you should pull up any Moby 4 info. I'm going to do some stuff here.
I mean, just pull up Spider, because that's what he is.
So Roulette and Roulette alone right now, I'll bring you to the next map.
Do I see a dead hot elf?
And I think I just have to click this. It does not appear to have worked. Do I click this instead? Why is that not working? Roulette, place on page. Something's going on here that's not working nicely. Oh, maybe because you don't have a token there? Something's going on here.
Do I have to stand on the ladder?
No, but I'll describe to you what's going on. I was going to give you a preview of the next screen, but I'll just give you a description. Moby 4, and then do you go, visual
Yes.
mode with it?
Yep.
Moby 4 skitters down the wall in its mechanical little legs of this chute, and at the bottom, it empties out to just a room. It immediately, there's like 5 feet more of corridor, but then it just opens up to a grand room. There's a long, similar colored burgundy runner that runs from roughly the position Moby 4 is at towards the distance. There's various statues, broken wooden pews in the space, stairs stairs about 60 feet ahead, maybe 30 feet ahead, that descend slightly to another platform. And at the base of that platform, there's some sort of apparatus, construction of bowls, a few braziers, and most distinctly a 10-foot tall mirror that you can see in the distance. And with really careful visual, you can see Moby 4's form even from this distance.
And no sight.
Telperion does not seem to be here.
Oh, fuck me. I will say that aloud. Something's Telperion's gone. We didn't drink that potion again. I don't see Telperion down here. Hold on one second. And I will fetch Moby 4 back up. And I will affix somehow the mirror to Moby 4's back. And I'm gonna send Moby 4 back down, and I want Moby 4 to then put like the mirror up against a wall, so he can like look in or so that I can look through Moby 4's eyes in the immediate vicinity to see like same thing I did in the previous room, but just with like
Sure.
Moby 4 doing it.
Yeah, you're able to do so, angling a mirror to suit your needs. You get a full surveillance of the space. Nothing of note.
Okay, so I should send him a message.
If you or do we just go? I'm going down. And I'm gonna go down the ladder because I don't want to waste time. If you guys, Toby, if you want to send him a message, do it. But I gotta get down there.
Yeah, I'll cast Send.
Toby starts casting a spell. Roulette simultaneously starts making her way down. MK, think of your message for a second. I'm gonna go on mute. Steve, I need to give you a phone call.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Toby, what if that's the last time we ever see them?
Tim, I have 3 available words at the end of my message.
Jiri says. Hi.
Okay.
Jerry says hi.
Steve's connection might be being weird for some reason, but oh, there you are, kind of. Roulette goes down. Toby, Rama, are you immediately sending a message to Telperion?
Yeah, and I will target Telperion and I will say, Roulette says you vanished. Where are you? Should we follow? If you don't respond, we're coming after you. Jiri says hi.
Toby, Rama, please roll a D100.
Oh, Toby, I'm very worried that we're never gonna see them again.
21.
Telperion, you hear Toby's voice in your mind, the message successfully making it through. You have the opportunity to reply back.
Okay.
Except you guys' connection's really faltering right now. Say something. Yikes.
You gotta give. You gotta give.
There we go.
That's great. Yeah, it's
You
it's
gotta
catching up.
give.
Cool. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Toby, Phantom snapped my neck or something. Saw in mirror. In weird shadow plane. Trapped. Help. Can't do anything. Come down en masse. I don't know. Help one another. That's probably all I
Toby
can do.
Rama, when Telperion's message comes to your ears, 10 seconds have gone by. Roulette hasn't called back up.
But I hear Telperion's message respond to me.
Yep.
What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?
There's a phantom down there, and it snapped his neck. But he's trapped. Best way.
Well, message
to...
roulette real quick.
The same thing happened to her. I guarantee it. She hasn't called back up. I'm gonna fire off some first.
I love
level-
Jerry maybe doesn't know that these cost spell slots.
I'm gonna fire off. How many of us are there? 4 4 sanctuaries on the 4 of us here. Can I do that? I ward a creature. It's not concentration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Duration of a minute, though, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
cast this, and I'm gonna go down the stairs. So
Hey, Toby, I can't go last.
then you go first.
Okay. You follow right behind me.
Yep.
Wait, can we tie a rope to each other?
No time.
Okay.
We'll be right behind you. Kinsala
Hold my
says.
hand.
Okay, I'll hold Jerry's hand as he goes first, and then follow him.
Okay. As both of you enter the space, I will pull us to the next screen.
Dope.
Jiri first with Toby next. You guys enter the same space that Roulette had perhaps described through her vision with Mo before. You open down. As soon as you get to the base of this ladder, you're immediately seeing the environment previously described, as well as off in the distance, there is this tall, distinct, 10-foot tall mirror. And as you guys see it, you're welcome to continue in the space.
It can't fucking attack us. Reflection, Phantom. I heard that. I'm gonna go up to. I'm gonna start rushing through and up to the mirror, and try and survey the room through the mirror.
Okay, I'm gonna move Kinsalo and Kellen onto the screen as well. And then Shadow Moby is welcome to join as well. Okay, so number one thing you're doing, you're rushing forward toward the mirror to inspect it, investigate it.
To, upon reaching it, use it to survey the room. Since
Okay.
I don't see my friends down here, we had reason to believe reflection stuff was going on.
You dash toward the mirror off in the distance. Jiri, what are you doing as soon as you get down here?
Kellen, get my back. And we're gonna go like back to back, and we're gonna like slowly try to catch up with Toby. Like keep an eye out for anything,
Okay.
any movement. Board's ready.
You guys
Gonzalo!
go.
Get with us, and we make a triangle actually.
You guys go back to back, and as Kinsalo's trying to catch up to you, Toby Rama surveilling the situation here in the mirror. You see Jiri and Kellen going back to back, looking out in the environment, and then you see Kinsalo. And immediately behind Kinsalo, is a tall, gangly, elf-looking creature, very pointed, jarringly so ears, balded head, pale face and features, angular, feral-looking, but he's dressed in these very ornate, formal clothes. And you see a wisp, a shadow of a horror. And I need all of you to please roll initiative. Including Telperion and Roulette.
Yay.
We're not on the screen, so I don't know what it's going to link to.
Oh, that's interesting. Go ahead and roll by yourselves with a dice roll or a physical roll, and we'll add you when you're able to. We'll check in with you periodically.
4.
Oh, this is the song I meant to put on.
Oh, I probably should have healed. Actually, maybe I'll spend my first 6 turns doing that.
Ooh. Not good.
Give me a nat 20 again. Oh, I'll take a 15.
I got a 4.
Hang on to those initiative rolls for those that aren't on the screen currently. All right, let's see here. I need to do Kinsalo. Will one of you be able to roll for Kellen if you... Oh, it looks like you already have. Beautiful.
Tim, I'll let you pilot Kellen for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to switch off however frequently or infrequently you want. If it's every turn or every combat or whatever you guys want to do, you two are in charge of Kellen.
Does not matter to
Alrighty.
me.
Toby, Kinsalo, Spectre, Kellen, Jiri. Okay, we are sufficiently on the board. Out of curiosity, Roulette, what was your initiative score?
15.
Okay, I'll get you added in there, but it'll be on the GM layer, so you might not be able to see it right away. And then Telperion, you said 4.
Yeah. With no tactician, I presume.
Tactician is not going to be effective right now. But Toby Rama, as you see that creature behind Kinsalo, you're a very perceptive person, but even before you have the chance to move or act or call out, you see it move.
Does it have to make a wisdom saving throw to try and target Kinsalo?
Ooh, yes, it would. It absolutely would. Yeah, you're right. Good catch on that.
18 is the number to beat.
Ooh.
You see it pull out these, it's like clutching its chest, like, and licking its lips, and you see it reach out to, like, almost devour Kinsalo. But then it, like, seems to react. You don't hear audio. You only see it right now. Not to everyone else, this creature's invisible and is not making any sound, but you see it react once it got too close to Kinsalo. So then it runs to a different creature. It will target Kevin next.
No.
Who's also
Oh, actually-
sanctuaried and also has warding bond.
He would have to target another creature within range, so he's not actually able to use a subsequent attack, but he does run toward a different creature. So Toby Rama, you can see him running up toward Kellen, but now he's like sort of doing a Grinch walk, like really high knees, like kind of like he's literally looks like he's trying to sneak, but he's this 9-foot tall freakazoid of a creature, but he's like slowing his gait, carefully moving toward Kellen.
Can you throw him
But
up
that
on
is-
the thing again?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's like holding his,
Ooh.
he's like preciously clutching his
No.
hands together. His mouth is like drawn to a line. Shout out Sanderson. And his ears are like wisping away at the tips. His form is like wisping away at the tips. Toby Rama, specifically with you having interacted most directly with the weird experimental creature up above, you can tell that was a failed experiment to do what they have succeeded on here. But it is now your turn. You are the first to act at this time.
Okay. I would like to start by trying to... how wide of a view of the room do I
Kinsalo's
see
just
in the mirror?
So that's a great question. So Kinsalo is also still like walking forward casually. Toby Rama, how's it going? And he's like not even aware that there was any motion near him. But when you are that close to the mirror in that space, I'll say you have 45 angled direction throughout the whole room.
And as I was first very distracted by this
from
thing
each corner of the mirror
attacking Kinsalo, now that I'm about to act, do I see other people in the space besides the creature and us four? Or us five?
You do not. It seems to just be you and the creature.
Okay.
Telperion and Roulette still nowhere in sight.
Yeah. I need to be very quick, and I will kind of do one of these where I'm looking at it, trying to adjust, and I want to try and target it with Sacred Flame.
Okay. Giving yourself the opportunity to target the creature, it will make its saving throw. That's a Dex save.
Dex save. +9.
The creature does not react in time, surprised to see a flash of light reflect so fast off the mirror it can't move that fast. But it is a rather fast-acting creature. But you do hit it with your radiant light. So go ahead and roll damage.
4d8 all radiant. 4, 3, 3, so 10 plus another 8, 18 radiant damage.
As soon as it is injured, it will use its reaction to move. It gauges your position, and you see it sprint off to on screen your left side until you lose it in the reflection.
Bonus action. As I make that work, bonus action. Since I was a cantrip, I will bonus action and do Sanctuary on myself. Now that I've already attacked it, to re-up my Sanctuary.
Okay.
I'm going to call out. You can only see it in the mirror. You're protected until you attack against it with my magic. And then I'm going to basically try and make space so they can utilize the mirror, but not go too far.
Okay.
You feel good about that spot.
As you move to that spot, your reflection angle changes and you can see it again. So you know the position it is currently standing in.
And that's my turn.
It is Kinsalo's turn. What do we do? And he will, out of fear and needing speed, Kinsalo will immediately shift into his hawk form, which I'm going to add to the same initiative count he has. And he will soar toward the mirror, flying above you, and then we'll see it. He'll take a cresting glance until he can find it, and then he'll dash over toward it. And just take a talon and beak attack.
But now he's not next to the mirror, so is this attacking an invisible creature or something like that? I'm curious.
I was going to roll with disadvantage, but I'm not even going to roll. You see Kinsalo strike the air with his beak, try and rend the air with his talons, and then he just bats his wings in fear. You see his body posture orient in a way where he's now suddenly scared. He does not know where to strike. That is Kinsalo's turn.
Okay.
Roulette, it is your turn. You find yourself in this space. You imagine if Telperion disappeared, he might be in a similar space. There's nothing. Do you start? What do you do?
First thing I do, because I'm realizing how hurt I am, and I probably should have healed myself earlier, I will cast Steel Sync immediately to have Daisy.
And if Daisy were not in an inanimate object form on your form, you'd think Daisy would be separate from you in this space. But because had her with you, you are able to sync yourself and go Iron Man mode.
Yeah, I was actively thinking about that, worried about that. Can I didn't explicitly say it, so feel free to say no. But at some point I would have picked up gotten Moby 4 back up if Moby 4
Sure,
was the same
absolutely. Yeah.
Moby 4's in my hip. I am going to take Moby 4 and I'm going to affix him to the side of my head.
Okay. Fair enough.
For reasons on next turn. And I am just going to, I'm not going to be sprinting, but I am going to be actively walking and shouting Telperion's name,
Okay.
anyone's
What the
name
fuck is going on?
around me.
Okay.
Oh no! First thing I will do. What is the floor made of? Is what I would Roulette would first do.
That's strange. There is no floor.
Terrifying. Okay.
But you're walking, aren't you? Huh.
I'm gonna turn off my boots.
Okay.
Do I fall?
You do not fall.
I try to move down or up.
You are not able to. You seem to be on some invisible floor that is just like endless black, whether it's reflecting the endless black around you or is actually endless black and you're suspended here in space, but you have the capability of moving. So once you're steel synced, you start moving in the distance.
I will start moving, and I'm just gonna be poking. I'm gonna be swinging at the air and
Wow.
swinging at the ground, shouting like a mad woman.
Okay. Jiri, it is the Spectre's turn. And you are muted.
There he is.
The Spectre's position, can you see into the mirror?
You can see the mirror right there. From that position, you do not see the creature within the mirror's reflection.
Alright, it's gonna start getting closer. They hover over on top of these coals where he's kind of right in front of the mirror. As he goes that direction, does he see the Spectre?
I'm gonna get...
Or whatever it is.
Sure. I'm going to try and do this in case it's kind of helpful. As you get nearer to it, from center line, it doesn't help you much. But as he shifts left and right, when you move one space to the right from there and get a visual cone, something like this, he can see the Spectre's position, or the Phantom's position right here next to Kinsalo.
Yeah, so he's got to get... That was about 40. And he would not be able to get... Wait, is it... Hold on a second. Is it right here?
It is to the left of that brazier.
Ah, darn. So he wouldn't be able to get to it to attack it. But he'll get close and point to it, lifting an arm
Yeah.
to indicate the space that
That's
that
viable.
being is in.
Okay. He sufficiently identifies him, helping Kinsalo identify him. You guys have his position fairly well triangulated in this moment, and it is Kellen's turn.
Helen will turn around, tell Jiri to duck, and he will fire a crossbow shot in that direction if he can see where Shadow Moby is pointing.
Okay. Normally, I would ask you to roll disadvantage against an invisible creature, but in this case, he fires the bow, no roll required. It clangs harmlessly off the stone behind that creature's position.
I feel like we're damaging it, but we're not getting the feedback that we are.
Actually, Toby Rama, are you in a position to currently see it?
I think you said when I was here, I lost it. I don't remember if you said.
Yeah,
when
but
I
then you moved. I
if
think
I
when you
caught
moved,
vision.
you did because you saw Kinsalo attack it. or try and go toward it and attack it. But for some reason, my GM layer is being strange and overshadowed. There's your position. That was the same position Spectre could identify it from, so you can see it over in the distance.
Have I been seeing it interact in any sort of way?
You see it sort of dodging attacks.
Okay.
I don't think mundane weapons do anything.
Potentially. I
Well,
think
'cause
you have to be
Consolidate
looking
hit.
at it, though. I think is also another thing.
So with that crossbow fired, nothing else from Kellen? Does he move? Does he do other action economy?
Yeah, so this is an interesting time where it's like he wants to move with Jiri. Like, is there a way for us to continue to move in step with one another?
Right next to
Usually,
each
I'd say it takes a hold action to hold the dash action to be able to move reactionarily. I'll say for this combat, with you guys really emphasizing moving as a unit, I'll say he won't do anything on this turn, but he can move with Jiri on Jiri's turn, but you'll both
Got
be
it.
at half movement.
We will. His movement is 30, so he'll move up 15.
Well, he won't move right now. He'll
Okay.
wait for Jiri's movement, but then you guys as a combo unit will just be moving together with half speed.
Got it. And he will also put his crossbow down and he'll say, maybe I'll try my sword. And take out his Gladius.
And on
Okay,
this turn,
perfect.
he'll probably activate it as a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, bonus action activation.
He also
There
has
you go.
the Cinder Sliver in his pocket.
Good to remember.
Yes. But for now, we move to Telperion. Telperion, it is your turn. Similarly to Roulette, well, you don't know that, but you're just lost in this endless black environment, gray, pale clouds rolling through the space, no floor or invisible floor. What are you doing in this moment? Or have you been doing in these moments?
There's no floor. There's no walls. There's no tech. There's no like physical anything.
It almost reminds you loosely of the dreamscape you found yourself in with Jiri's mind, in the terms of it's an endless expanse.
Take out the Staff of Golden Flame, and I am just going to be ready to launch a fireball if I get out of here.
Okay. Holding an action to reactionarily cast it?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to burn those 3 charges to have it ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You cast Fireball, you're...
No, you're not. Because
wanna-
then you.
What?
Because if you do that, then you consume it whether or not you get out. Is what
Yeah. So what I want to do is just when I'm in, I want to be like ready to go. Like
Sure.
not like it doesn't have to be as a reaction, but just like I want to be like I know that my only chance is them getting me out of here, so I want to be ready to contribute the second if they can free me.
Okay, fair enough. So then we move to actual Jiri's turn. You're welcome to move with Kellen, but it will just be half movement to do so.
1, 2, 3. We'll move up to here, and as we are moving, Jiri will try some. If magic is successful, he will try some magic air bursts in that area.
Okay. You know the space to target. You condense your magic and loose 3 air bursts. You know you should be on target. No roll required. Harmless collisions on the stone right behind where you think the target should be. And Toby Rama, from your perspective, you see Jiri cast, and then you look back, and the creature's like seeming to like dodge it, but then his smile like grows wider all the way back up to its ears.
Wait, does Toby see it actively dodging the?
Go ahead and make an insight check,
projectile?
Toby.
28.
You see, it's not like fake dodging, but it's also like sussing out something. You get the indication that this creature doesn't know if the target, the enemy, is able to damage him right there. So he's almost playing with his food. He is dodging, but there's a playfulness about it.
Okay.
Anything with your action, or bonus action rather, Jiri?
Jiru will use his 1 key point to take the dodge bonus action. He's being very
Okay.
defensive right now. And he'll say to Toby, Toby, I can't hit this thing. Neither can Kellen.
Okay. It will be the top of initiative again, and this creature will move. Shed from its sanctuary, he's going to try and attack this large bird creature attacking him. And I think I need to open this on a new page real quick. That will be a hit. So you see him, Tobirama, from your vantage point, you see him like launch himself at Kinsalo's bird form, and he like grabs onto him and he's like trying to crack his neck and bone snap, and you see Kinsalo's physical form now being like moved and affected invisibly in the space, and Kinsalo will take a substantial amount of psychic damage, and you see him start to caw frighteningly. He has the frightened condition.
Okay.
Oh,
And yeah. You don't know.
I wish
that
I had
part.
taken that attack.
And then the creature seems to move onto and around, almost like a spider of a person with these long limbs and jarring elbows, kind of creeps around Kinsalo and then lets him go. And you lose sight of him for a moment, Toby. As he uses his bonus action to sneak. Cute, right? All right, Toby, your turn.
Cool. What does that mean for me to be my turn? Okay. I think that's a good thing to do. Probably, I guess. I mean, fuck, I don't know what to fucking do. I have done that. I still have uses of that left in a meaningful way. Okay, so I will spend my action to try and look for the creature.
Okay.
Being willing to spend some movement looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whatever feels appropriate.
Yep. Go ahead and make a perception check. It has actively hidden, and therefore you must actively perceive it if it is sufficiently out of your line of sight, etc.
Fuck yes. I rolled a 19, 28 total.
As you position yourself, you get closer to the mirror, and I'll say burn half your movement poking around in the environment, and then you get to this space, but functionally like almost up against the wall, to identify that its position is up against the wall right here.
I guess kind of part of that is I will also be shouting. It seemed to have no trouble at all dodging your things. I think you have to have eyes on it in the mirror. And from here, he had a really good fucking dex save. Do I think necrotic is going to be meaningfully damaging? Maybe, but I think I'm going to quicken Bane and target it.
Okay.
So now I'm at
Charisma save.
Charisma save. I'm at 4 out of 5 charges used on my meta magic. No way!
As you target it, Its head just snaps to the mirror, and it looks at you not
'Cause
directly,
now-
but through the reflection,
Now I'm not
and it just
sexuated.
smiles so big. And you have identified its other rather good saving throw.
But I
Not,
will then
not affected by the magic that turn.
basically using half my movement. I'll see if I can back away along that line.
Sure. Yeah,
To
you've identified it. You
try
can get
and
a route.
Keep an eye on it while I hopefully make space for people like Jerry and maybe Kellen to take
Yeah,
some ranged
absolutely.
attacks on their turn.
Yeah, you're
from
welcome
that
to do that.
space.
That was a bonus action, Quicken. Have you used an action?
Was my perception an action?
Oh,
would you
that's
say?
that's right. Yeah, you
I
had
was
to actively
assuming
perceive.
that.
That's right. I kind of spaced on that.
Okay.
Yes, you did have to actively perceive there.
Then that's my
So
turn.
now the others know its position. You're unfortunately not able to affect it with Bane, but it is now Kinsalo's turn. Kinsalo will, hearing your commands, leave its space, trying to get closer to the mirror. But as he does, the creature will take a single strike at him. Oh, no, it can't do that. It can't do that. So Kinsalo makes it all the way here.
Can it not see him? Well, no,
Tries.
surely it can.
Tries to see it through the mirror, and with its large form, has to get rid of his form, shunting back into normal Kinsalo. Oh god. And as soon as he can see its reflection, his frightened condition kicks in.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And he like readies his spear to throw, but he's scared to do so. Fuck! And he just hurls it with disadvantage.
Surely you didn't also give this thing a great AC.
Disadvantage on his wing lance.
If you guys can just get me
Natural-
back, I have a really good idea for what to do.
Also
His
have an
wing,
idea.
his wing lance soars toward the creature, but off course. He was throwing it where he thought it was, but he was looking at the reflection. It's a disorienting position, and now his spear is on the other side of the room from a creature he's frightened from. So he's not getting that spear very easily. And he just like sort of backs up, sort of flies, trying to avail some others of the opportunity, but also backing away from the creature he's frightened from. It is the Spectre's turn.
I think it's my turn. 15.
Did you disappear? Oh, it's because I skipped the order I did things in. Yes, it is your turn. You are 15.
Have I heard anyone or found anything in my ravings and runnings?
You've begun to poke and prod at this space, but primarily used your action to cast Steel Sync last time. Would you
Yeah.
like to use your action to perceive or investigate your environment?
Did I in my running? Did I see anything majorly obvious as
Not
of yet?
obvious incursory atmospheric phenomena.
I'm going to stop running. I am going to go down on a knee, and I'm going to take that mirror out that I had, and I'm going to spend my action using my jeweler's kit to break that mirror into 3 pieces.
Okay.
Doesn't need to be a clean cut at all, especially
Sure.
the 3rd piece. Did I freeze?
Nope.
Oh, I'm good. I am going to take 2 of those pieces, and I'm going to hand them to Moby 4 on my head. And what Moby 4 is going to do in front of one of my eyes is hold one mirror this way, and then the other one this way,
Very
giving
cool.
me a like mirrored view throughout. The other
Yeah.
3rd piece, I'm going
But
to
still forward, but directed through reflections.
yes.
Very
And then the 3rd piece I am holding in my hand. And
I would say
I'm
that
just-
is, yep, that
my
is
turn.
sufficient. That is sufficient for an investigation check.
Oh, okay. But for the purposes of my turn, that's the only thing I'm doing. Or only thing I'm intending to do.
With the
22.
22, 10 feet in front of you through this new ocular vision. It's trippy because you do not see this with your left eye, but with your right eye that is reflectionally enhanced, you see a frame in front of you. It looks like a mirror, but there's no reflective surface. It looks opaque.
I immediately start running towards it. And
Okay.
Fuck, do we have to
Anything with a
break
bonus
him?
action?
Toby can't probably do that, but MK can.
oh, bonus action, I will cast Arcane Weapon Lightning. Yeah, Lightning
Okay.
on my the sword.
Okay.
We'll go mark that out.
Now it is Shadow Specter's turn.
Do I get to the mirror in those 10 feet?
Yeah, absolutely. You get to it.
Oh, but there's
You just
no,
don't
like-
have much action economy to interact with it meaningfully yet, but it seems like an opaque, smooth stone surface, not a mirror. But it's in the same
Oh.
frame of the mirror.
I thought it was just the frame, and I was like, I want to go through it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, it's just an opaque stone textured middle section of that frame. But the reflective surface of glass should be there.
Okay.
Okay. So now it is Shadow Specter's turn.
The Shadow Specter will fly over to the mirror. 25. He's gonna peer into the mirror and see if he can see not just the beast, the creature, but also is there anything else in the room besides that?
Sure.
Looking for our friends. If they're like in
There's
here,
not
we
seem
can't
to
see them.
be anything in the reflection. Shadow Moby gives a cursory surveillance of I've said that phrase so many times today, of the room. And you can, off this slanting side, you can see the creature if he gets the right angle. But no, you're not seeing Telperion or Roulette. Do you want to interact with the mirror more directly than looking at it?
Yeah, because then my follow up was like, all right, what about like in the mirror itself, like
Sure.
the physical face of the mirror, and, like putting its
Oh,
hand through it or its
yeah.
face into it.
Yeah. Does he want to do that? Does Shadow Moby Spectre want to physically touch and sort of peer into the mirror?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Have Shadow Spectre please make a charisma check.
Oh. Okay. I guess that'd just be flat charisma. 4.
Jiri, there is something there, but I can't peer through it yet. So nothing meaningfully gained yet, but it seems like an interaction worth having.
Did that use up his action?
Yes, to make that check.
And then it'll kind of just drift. No, it'll go up 5 feet so that other people
Okay.
can view the mirror, but hopefully still keeping an eye on the whatever that thing is, the shadowy
Yep.
thing.
Perfect. All right, it is Kellen next.
Alan will be like, all right, screw this. And he's gonna run up to the mirror until he can get a view of the beast.
Okay.
And he's gonna ready his action and he's gonna scream and shout. And he's gonna be like, "Come get me!" And ready his action.
Okay.
If it should step into the space nearest him, he will take an attack with his Gladius.
Okay, sounds good. Ready's his action. Telperion, it is your turn once again in this endless expanse.
I'll look around and investigate it.
Okay. Flavor for me, how are you doing so? Other than moving around and looking. Is there any way you want to celebrate your character's unique flavor of investigating this space?
Nah. I'll call out. I'll just send a random telepathic ping out, knowing I can't see anybody, but just seeing if anything bounces back. And then I'll just try to kind of. Oh, you know what? I'll do a produce. I'll just kind of see if I can. I don't know. There's not much I can do. I'll just hold out my staff as if it's a light, and I could see
Okay.
better with it.
So using your staff as a light in the darkness, but also sending out mental pings. You've used detect magic to detect invisible creatures before, so sending out minor telepathic pings to see if anything it lands against anything. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
My God, nat 20 plus 7.
Wow. So most of your telepathic pings just feel like they just go forever with no purchase, no target. And then there's one moment where you feel like it hits a wall. So you psionically lock onto that circumstance, and as the cloud parts, you similarly to Roulette see this large frame of a mirror, but it's not reflective glass on the other side. It's opaque stone.
Okay. I mean, I do have an action surge I'd like to burn here to see, like, I would like to further interact with it. So is this a matter of, like, now that I found the solid thing, I need to investigate it more?
I think you've found a thing on the map. Now it's your opportunity to try things. For a further investigation check won't necessarily give you answers or meaningful way forward. You may have to choose interactions.
Going to I have this. I'm looking at it like a pale rectangle, right?
Yep.
Like a flat thing, and I'm suspecting there's a mirror on the other side. I'm just gonna blast it with the burning hands out of the staff. I'm standing right here.
Okay.
I got the staff out. I just want to see if I can attack this thing to, like, if that energy has an effect on it.
Okay. I need to look at one thing real quick.
I'll also use a second charge to make this a radiant burning hands.
Okay. Very cool. Go ahead and roll the burning hands' damage. It will automatically fail the saving throw. It cannot make a dex saving throw.
This is 3d6. Did that come through? 16.
You bend your fire magic at the mirror, this stone wall, and it's almost like as it heats the stone, it turns reflective. And then as you use the extra charge to force it to radiant damage, you see spidering cracks start taking place and spreading throughout this entire mirror. And Roulette, you see the same thing. The portal you're looking in front of starts to crack and spider out of nowhere. And for the rest of you in the environment,
I did it.
the mirror itself shatters, dumping 12 individuals out of its containment, as well as the reflection phantom becomes dark, obsidian-like, with a crack all along its chest, and it screams in horror, and it is now visible and physical, no longer a reflection. But most notably, two of the individuals that spilled out of the mirror were not prisoners, but vampire thralls that are bearing fangs and eagerly awaiting whoever could dare break the mirror. We are at 5 o'clock, so I think we'll pick this second phase of the combat up next time.
If we broke the mirror, we just wouldn't be able to see it anymore, and then we were fucked. So I didn't think at all to try and break the mirror.
Like, at all.
That's what I thought too.
Shit, we got a bunch of people.
So now there's a more physically targetable reflection phantom in its fractured form, as well as two vampire thralls that were not, prisoners, but guardians should the mirror ever be broken. And a lot of other bystanders who have been slowly captured throughout who knows how long.
Oh God, I'm almost mad that we can see him now.
Because you had an awesome idea for interacting with the previous form.
Because, we can see him now. The reason I broke the third piece of the mirror is because I have a spell called Conjure Barrage that I get to pick an item and it creates like thousands of copies of it, and I was just gonna
Shoot
cover
it
this
with
place
mirrors.
in mirrors,
Oh, very cool.
so that
That is
everyone
very
can see
cool.
the reflection.
That's really fucking smart. That's really cool.
Now I'm just
That's
holding a piece
really,
of mirror,
really
being like,
cool.
I'm gonna walk and be like, "Where's the invisible guy?"
We are toward the end of the session. It is 5 o'clock. The second phase of this combat's effectively picking up. But Jiri, you're both next to act, but also the bottom of initiative. Would you prefer to wait until next time, or would you prefer to take your turn now so that we can start at the top of initiative count next time?
Maybe it makes sense to wait until next time and then
Okay.
pick up from you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So the mirror
I
has
feel like
just broken, dumped out all of its prisoners. You are the next to act. And then now that Telperion has been freed from the mirror, he will also subsequently be able to make a tactician change.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because
Are these
my
other
plan
prisoners?
has completely changed. Like I feel like
Yep.
Jiri is now
Sure,
like
yeah.
wait.
Are these other prisoners alive?
All of them appear to be gasping for air, coughing, or moaning, limp on the ground. They have been here for various time periods and various conditions of existence. Seemingly many different demi-pocket planes existed within this mirror of life trapping. And therefore, it had been filled with its previous two, Telperion and Roulette, so it could not absorb future individuals. So it was always whoever were the first two were the first subjected to it. But now that it has been broken and dumped all of its prisoners,
That makes sense to me now
Chaos-
because you seemed
chaos
like
may ensue.
you seemed like you had forgotten about the sanctuary, where I was like convinced that's why we were able to interact with the space.
Yes.
Fast.
But the
Oh,
sanctuary was meaningful because it did deter the creature from making an attack, so he did lose an entire attack.
I just have burned so many spells.
Dude, you churned through slots today.
I
I
know.
watched you do that. It's like, what? He's going for it.
Oh, I felt so good about so many of them. I was just wrong a lot of the time, and that's fine.
Did you do 2 stone shapes or 1?
I had to do a second one to get access
to
to
open
what
a
I
hole
closed
in the
up.
previous one.
I thought that was like the anchor
A
of its
core of
being,
its power.
and if I
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
it off, it wouldn't be able to exist anymore.
It's true. It's really funny though. Watching you do it, undo it was funny. Tim, you got to tell Alex how sick the staff came in handy today, because I don't know if I could, like, force damage might have done it, but it was more fun to use the staff.
Yeah, changing it to using Rome's item, that was cool.
Feels like she's with us.
And radiant damage made a difference there. Reflection, light-based things makes sense.
I think I need to get all up in this thing's business because it
Oh,
is going to fail
I'll
my
also say-
dexterity saves.
I'll
Or succeed.
re-say this. I'll re-say this at the top of next session, but I'll also communicate that when the mirror shatters, there is a large lock wheel immediately in a recessed cove directly behind where the mirror was. There is an iron vault behind that mirror.
Access writ. Lovely.
Oh,
So how do you get the access writ if you don't break the mirror?
There also are various ritualistic paraphernalia around in the room, so there may be alternate means of accessing that particular lock wheel.
Also, I'm sure this phantom like serves Demir. Demir, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Very cool fight.
I have unless somehow we manage to fully wipe out the Skull House, which I don't think is what we're about to be about. This is now very high on my list of priorities, is to wipe out this family. This really caught me off guard with just like huge undead cult family thing going on here. Vampires and goodness.
So, like, also, we totally aren't. A bunch of people are about to walk out of the basement.
well, no, because I locked the door.
Well, also,
Well, what's the intended way
I
out
like
of
the
this
idea of-
space?
Even if Roulette didn't arcane lock that, I like the idea of Telperion voices shit. There's a bunch of people that are going to walk out the door, and Roulette just goes to the door and click.
Nobody's getting out of here.
So it's funny because we don't know the way out yet because
That's
we
what
had to
I'm
use that
saying.
ethereal.
Yeah, there wasn't
We had to get in with an
an
ethereal potion.
obvious
We-
way to get out.
Yeah, I mean we have to figure a way out now.
I'm just picturing it like the scene from Clue. Let us out, let us out, let us in, let us in.
Well, because like he's got to have a way to get out too. He needs to use that potion to get in here. So like I came in knowing there's probably some way out, but now we have to let these people out. Wild.
Yeah, this may be high on my list on after Zavar is return to Cliffshade and root out the vampire clan.
Hey, we're killing their devil. We broke their mirror and we stole their book.
You might be
And
right. And I could maybe just ferry this information to Jay and he could use it to take them down. That's me.
oh yeah, very cool.
I will afford the information that you guys succeeded there was experimentation and testing things, but you guys succeeded fairly directly with the mixing bar, the drink bar mixing to facilitate your potion of etherealness tied to the user's blood. Those were various liquids ingested individually, could have had various effects. So that's kind of fun too. It's like you guys succeeded in getting to the right answer very quickly.
And Telperion, I hope you got what you needed out of those recipes because I'm destroying this tome the moment I have time to. I am not going to spare anyone's curiosity like, oh, but was it cool recipes in there? No, this is very applicable to Toby and the domain of Kelemvor of like rooting out undeath.
You don't have a counter argument to want to look at it or not. You hasn't thought about it much.
Also, it's just funny because this is literally right after our intro question of like, I feel like Roulette would be like, no, it's knowledge. It's worth having knowledge. I'm like, not this knowledge. I feel like if that was would be something potentially to clash on. Part of me was thinking for sure this hallway over here because I did unfortunately at one point Steve was measuring cones and I saw it peek through on the map. I'm like, oh, they're over on the right. I need to not react with that information.
No. I was just I was trying to do a map. I can't. Our character icons are not on here anyway. So that wouldn't have been anything. Okay. I was literally trying to see if I could do a cone somewhere off the screen because I was like, I don't know what a 60.
I'm like, oh no.
I was like, what does a 60-foot cone look like? And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's big.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's big.